26.
26.
Did you know Mac Miller before this?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Like I heard of him. Yeah, I've definitely heard of him. I listened to a little bit of his stuff.
So, switch it up a little
he's
bit.
good.
Yeah, in loving memory of Mac Miller.
Rest in peace, Mac.
Rest in peace, Mac. Another one down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he sounded like Tupac, but
I can't. That was like the most random.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
Yeah, that was the most random thing I've ever heard in my life.
I don't know. I'm not really that into it.
No?
Into rap. I liked rap better when in the days of Tupac and
Biggie.
yeah, and Dr. Dre and Eminem and all of them. You know, I liked it.
Yeah.
And then it just, I don't know. To me, it just.
Yeah, white people got involved.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden,
white people
I didn't
ruined
like,
hip hop.
That's right. I mean, I actually liked Tupac. I mean, I liked his songs and stuff, you know. But I like Dr. Dre. That one song with Eminem and Dr. Dre. That's a great song.
Is it the Slim Shady one?
No, forgot about Dre.
Oh,
Talking about Dre. That's a really
Dre.
good song. And then Snoop Dogg and all that. That was some
Bone Thugs.
Yeah, Bone Thugs was real good. Yeah,
that
I
was
remember
some
that.
really good music. And then I don't know, to me, then you start listening to stuff, and I'm thinking, man, it sounds.
I'm not sure what happened. Well, I kind of do know. I'm not going to get into it.
It sounds the same to me.
There's a lot of swearing and vulgar and
yeah,
and a lot of. I didn't think back then it was all that. I mean, the emphasis wasn't all about it was crime and bitches and hoes and things like that.
Yeah,
I think it degenerated.
Yeah.
To that, yeah, it kind of flipped.
And now that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
it's like the whole song is just it'd be as vulgar.
Yeah, like when Tupac saying that, "Mama," that's a good.
That's
song.
a really good song. Yeah, California Love's a good one.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a history there, right? Tupac's mother was
in the Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Well, I think the rap nowadays, like a lot of the cadence is the same, like with the way they rap.
Mm-hmm. The beats are the same.
The beats are the same. They all use that auto tune or whatever. Yeah. It sounds the same to me. Like what the stuff you're talking about, it sounded different. Like you could tell the different artists. But I guess if you listen to it all the time,
this depends. Well, I think
tell.
like all popular rap sounds the same.
Yeah.
But obviously, like underground, there's still people doing the Tupac-ish, Bone Thug-ish things.
Yeah.
But people don't listen to it. It's our fault too. We like
the catchy,
trolly, annoying stuff.
Yeah.
Like the internet, memes, and being annoying. Like everybody's making fun of Mac Miller being dead. You see all that?
They're making fun of
him? Yeah, there's
it?
like memes like making fun of him for overdosing.
Why?
I don't know. It's just
that's fucked up.
This is how the internet is, you know?
I just heard something on the way over here that the internet turns people into assholes.
Yeah.
Or social media turns people into assholes.
It does.
Well,
it
there's
really
not
does.
that face-to-face thing.
Yeah.
You can be behind, it's easy to,
be all sneaky.
Like I was telling Jason, like I was, I don't know, I was just, sometimes you just pick up on goofy things, and I was just picking up on this thing about Jennifer Lawrence. Because I think she's beautiful.
She's hot.
I mean, she really is. And I could not believe these comments. I'm thinking, who are you people? I mean, they're talking about that she's not that good looking and she's not that good of an actress. I mean, they were just putting her down. And I'm thinking, you know,
haters.
I'm thinking you probably work at Walmart.
Yeah.
And here, Jennifer Lawrence is like a successful person. I don't know if it's true or not, but I read that she didn't finish high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
And she was just such a good actress, and I guess her looks.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
Yeah, well, looks, I think with women, looks helps a lot more than with guys.
Yeah.
Looks isn't as important with guys.
No?
I don't think so.
Not with, like, acting and things like that.
I don't think with guys.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, sometimes, even in work environments and stuff, like sometimes, other, supervisors, they can be more intimidated by a guy that's good looking.
Tall, handsome.
Yeah, they can be intimidated by that.
Yeah, they're intimidated by it.
So, so everybody likes good looking women.
Yeah.
Even women.
Even women do,
Even women like good looking women.
Yeah, there is like a presence with a really good looking guy. There is like something to it.
Really?
Where like, I don't know. Yeah.
Like when I'm around?
Like, I guess I don't really know one in my real life, but like if like Bradley Cooper walked into a room, there would be like a,
From a good looking guy? Yeah, I don't know. I don't really.
Yeah, like.
I mean, no, there is like a nice structured
Well, the
jawline
women
or
like,
something.
I mean, the women
And the women try too hard.
like Brad Pitt. You know, like he doesn't do like a whole lot for me. You know what I mean? But women really. No, I'm talking about his acting.
Yeah.
Or even what's that other actor's name? There's quite a few actors that are.
Mom likes Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, but he's not really good looking.
No.
No, he's not.
Not
Johnny
really.
Depp.
Huh?
Girls like
Johnny
Johnny
Depp.
Depp.
Girls
now,
like Johnny
Johnny
Depp.
Depp is cool looking.
He's
though.
cool looking.
Yeah, I get
You know what
that.
I mean?
Yeah, I
He's
get it.
cool looking.
He's
not,
cool.
He's maybe not necessarily good looking, like in that sense, but he's cool looking.
Yeah, he's cool looking.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a good actor though.
Yeah.
Whereas Brad Pitt, I don't know. I mean, he's okay, but I'm not.
Yeah, you're right. He's not the best actor.
No, he's not.
No.
You know, I think a lot of the actors, you know, that are probably good are the ones that really try to do some more things.
Well,
Yeah.
Johnny
yeah.
Depp kind of like my contact is driving me nuts. Jesus. There's nothing like when there's something in your. I know you have
Yeah.
contacts, when there's something in your eye.
Yeah,
You
no,
try to
dude.
ignore it.
I've had scratch cornea before. That's the
You have
worst.
a patch up here. I would actually prefer a patch.
Yeah, and just keep it close.
But Johnny Depp kind of sold out. I feel like.
What, with the Pirates of the
Yeah,
Caribbean?
and then he'll try to do a serious movie, and people are kind of over him now. He's sold out to the Pirates of the Caribbean, and they even have him on video saying he would never do that. I know people change.
Yeah.
But he was like, I'll never be that type of actor.
That was like I like that character. I thought he did really good. I don't think he sold out. Like he was just doing. Yeah.
I wasn't really that.
They might have beat the dead horse.
Yeah, but he never left that character. It's like he was. What's the name? Captain Jack.
Yeah, Jack
It's
Sparrow.
like now he's always. It seemed like he just forever carried that. He always has this
He
like
had that-
Captain Sparrow like accent and like swag to him
He talks that way, like in real life.
in his movies. Like
Oh.
what's the other movie he did? Alice in Wonderland.
Oh,
He
where he's
started-
the kind of
Yeah.
right.
I can't think of the word for like what
Yeah.
a character actor.
It's like he's institutionalized in
Yeah.
that character.
Yeah, but he's like freaking out. Like he's like an alcoholic.
There's some
and
weird
he-
shit going
yeah.
on in his life.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess he's got his demons to deal
Well,
with.
his ex-wife's like suing him, said that he beat her.
Yeah, right.
And all this stuff, and it's coming out that she completely lied about it.
Mhm.
She's trying to take him to the freaking bank.
She had
take
like
all his money,
she had
That's
one
what
video
Hollywood
of him
people,
freaking
man.
out.
and that was her.
It was like
Yeah,
we
right.
all
Was it even that
yell.
bad? Yeah.
Yeah.
I always liked. I mean, even though it was weird, I don't really know why I liked it, but I always liked that Edward Scissorhand.
That was a
great
classic.
Really
movie.
bizarre though. wasn't it?
Absolutely. What a cool idea, Tim Burton.
Did you ever watch? Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Did that one episode that they had about the barber? Because he went. Seinfeld went to a barber and he never got a good haircut from the guy. And Kramer was saying, you know, like my guy, he really gives great haircuts, you know. But Seinfeld felt like, you know, he's been having this barber for years and years.
Yeah.
And you remember that episode?
No,
I
I
don't
don't
remember
remember
that
that
either.
That's a
one.
really
Yeah.
funny episode. And then the barbers talked about Edward Scissorhand later on.
Oh, really?
So, but well, since you haven't seen the episode, I always thought it was kind of. I actually still watch reruns.
Do you?
Yeah,
I like.
think-
Yeah, I can still watch Seinfeld. It still holds up.
I don't think now. There's some people don't get it.
Yeah.
I know some.
A lot of people don't get it.
like Bill. You know, he doesn't get it at all.
yeah, they don't get
They're
it.
all lunatics on the show. It's
Yeah,
great.
it's funny.
Like, they're all
Well,
nuts.
it's like it's just about everyday thing. A lot of times I'll tell Bill. I'll say, hey, this is like Seinfeld. I mean, he's talking about this idiotic situation.
In a way, you can like relate to the situations, even if it's
Yeah.
never happened to you. You
Right.
still can
You
like
can relate to
in a
them.
way.
Yeah, yeah.
At least I can.
I haven't-
Us three can because we're
It's
fucking
very.
idiots.
Yeah, we're all nuts.
Yeah, we're all
Yeah,
nuts.
we're
I
crazy.
can't think of really anything that
Is that funny?
after Seinfeld.
I think King of Queens was just funny.
King of Queens was
It's
good.
hilarious.
I
Do
Do you
like.
think it's still on the same level as Seinfeld?
I don't know. It's different, but I laugh I liked every episode, and I laugh.
I mean, it's a good-
every
Yeah,
episode.
but King of
Well,
Queens was like the standard sitcom.
Mhm.
You know, it was the same. Seinfeld, I think, was a little bit
It
different.
was different.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I like New Girl. New Girl was a cool show.
Yeah, Kirby watched that.
Yeah,
New Girl?
Caitlin got me into that. Yeah,
It's all right.
a little
Well, then
brunette
I think
girl.
the father, from Seinfeld.
Well, he was in
the
King of
basement-
Queens.
Still-
Arthur.
Right, but he
Yeah.
helped. I
Arthur.
think
He did help.
He did. He's
helped
great.
because he's funny.
I think he's
Yeah.
funnier in King of Queens. Well, he had a bigger role in King of Queens.
Yeah, he did.
You know, than Seinfeld.
But he had
He lived in the
moments
basement.
Yeah.
That was really
yeah,
cool.
but he had funny moments in Seinfeld.
Moments, but he was like part of the show.
I mean, like the one about Serenity Now. Remember that one? I thought that was a funny 20
No,
years.
I'm not. I'm just saying he stepped his game up even more. I feel for King of Queens.
He had a bigger part.
Bigger part, yeah.
But I mean, like, if I think even before Seinfeld, I think comedy was funny, like, with Archie Bunker.
It was like racist.
I think
Yeah,
Archie
it was.
Bunker. I think Archie Bunker took a lot of chances. Like you couldn't even be an Archie Bunker now.
Yeah.
Man, I never watched
with the whole
any of that.
racial.
Well, that's why nothing's that funny anymore.
Even Jefferson was like, because Archie was a racist,
Right.
and Jefferson was too.
Yeah.
Jefferson was a racist too, and he was the black, guy, and he was. I mean, he put down white people all the time.
Yeah.
That's
and
funny.
Archie
That is
It's
funny.
funny. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
But Archie did it in such a way where it wasn't hateful. It was just stupid.
It was just stupid.
Like he was a racist because he was stupid.
Just stupid stereotypes and shit like that.
Yeah, because a lot of times people don't realize that they're racist.
I thought of a funny show. Can I bring up a funny show? Martin. Did you watch Martin?
Martin was a good one.
good.
That was
you probably
good.
didn't like Martin. Martin
That
was
was
a
funny.
classic show.
Yeah, it
What's
was.
his name? He's Martin.
Martin Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
You don't know Martin?
Sheila, was that her?
I don't remember.
No,
He played the girl across the hall
he
too.
was like
Martin?
Yeah.
really? If I showed you a clip, you'd be like, oh, yeah, Martin.
The song.
You don't know Martin Lawrence?
No.
No. Well, whatever. That was
In
funny.
Living Color was the shit.
In Living Color.
That was a good.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
that
a
was
skit
good.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's where what's his name?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey. Everybody, really. A lot
Everyone.
of people.
The Ivory Wayans brothers.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. Yeah.
There was another.
Jennifer or J Lo. She was the jazz girl or whatever. What were they called? The hype girls.
Fly Girl.
Fly girls.
There was another show that went back even farther than that, and I can't remember.
What, that was funny, you're saying?
That was funny. That went before that.
What about the Cosby Show? I thought it was
Kramer
funny.
actually-
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
That's a
that was
classic.
good one.
That was real funny.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
super funny.
But Kramer actually started in this show, that before it goes far back. I mean, where
What's his
Kramer
Michael
was in, but I
Richards?
can't remember the series though that it was.
That he was in.
Yeah.
Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah.
I looked it up
Yeah,
one
well,
time, but then I
need
I
Alex.
can't.
Yeah,
I
Alex,
can't
pull that
remember,
up.
But he was like a Daniel Boone character. Kramer was. Well, Kramer sure ruined his career. Huh?
Yeah, he sure did.
I mean, sometimes.
I mean, that was the hateful racism right there, buddy.
Oh man, he just blew it.
Was it called Fridays, Dad?
Yeah.
That's what it was called?
Yeah.
Alright, he was in Problem Child, too. He was good in Problem Child.
The movie Problem
I
Child.
love Problem Child.
That was a good
That was a
movie.
good
Yeah, I
movie.
remember getting all excited when I was a kid when it was coming out. He
Yeah.
was like a little rebellious kid.
It's like Roseanne. I felt bad. For
Yeah, I
Roseanne,
felt
Yeah.
bad for Roseanne.
that she lost it.
Yeah,
I just,
and it was.
I'm not
I mean,
happy about that.
No.
No, not at all.
You shouldn't be happy
The way
for somebody's
that
demise.
people's lives can be wrecked just by one
And
thing.
people love it.
Yeah, I
They
know.
love
They
it.
freaking jump all over
They cheer
it.
for it.
Yeah, they
some
do. They
people are
want
saying
that
are like-
shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate.
Yes.
There
a lot of
is.
hate.
You know.
Way too much hate.
Yeah. Because that was a good-
Religion. A lot of hate comes from religion.
Yeah,
seems
it does.
like.
Yeah.
The judgy,
Mhm.
ideas.
Yeah.
You wonder what life would be if religion was never created. You just wonder.
Well,
you
religion
know?
was always here
But before.
from the very beginning.
Yeah, it's weird.
It wasn't like maybe Christian or something like that, but it was just there was always, they were always throwing virgins into the volcano. And
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
there's
killing
always
goats
that
and
no,
shit.
there's no version of life that wouldn't have had religion because there's always some guy that wants to fuck everybody's wife.
Yeah.
There always would have been a religion,
Yeah.
Played 1,000
Some
times
type
with
of-
some guy some Negan who comes out and starts
Yeah.
the
In The Walking Dead.
alpha male. There's
Yeah.
always the alpha male who wants to fuck everybody's wife.
yeah, like
Here's the
Mormons
prophet.
had a good racket there. huh?
Or everyone's kids.
Or everybody's kids.
Yeah, that's
Ooh,
fucked up.
Ow.
Whoa.
Right in the kisser.
You like that term right now.
It was in Sopranos.
Yeah,
Ow,
religion
right in the
is.
kisser.
Yeah, religion is.
I can never get my dad in the Sopranos. It always breaks my heart. But keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. When you say soprano,
Well-
there was something that I was thinking about, but I can't remember now what it was.
Religion.
In that, but yeah, religion. Religion's kind of like I was saying before, that unless it's real. I mean, like, how do you get from Jesus? Okay, if you focus on Jesus, this is been my thing lately. Okay,
Start paying attention.
is like
It's close.
like you focus on these other characters like Paul, like the Apostle Paul, who never met Jesus, and then decides 50 years later that he has this revelation, and then you have all these various prophets, in the Bible, and then so they start this thing like You know, and then they demonize gay people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but where did that come from?
But Jesus never demonized anyone.
Right.
But where did it come from?
It
Where
probably,
did it
like-
come from?
Paul was, you know, said.
Yeah, where
What
did it come
what
from?
did they say
What?
about gays?
Where did this gay bashing come from?
Well, gay. I mean,
Isn't
the
there only,
gay
like,
thing
one
has
or
been
two
here
little
since.
things?
no, there has to
Sodom
be
and
something in
Gomorrah.
the Bible that hints to it. Something about burning.
Well, there's
Of them
Sodom
alive?
and Gomorrah was you know.
That's
was
what I'm
the-
asking for.
Yeah, I guess Sodom and Gomorrah. You know,
Yeah.
they were all like, you know, because you know, homosexuality, you know, was always been around.
Yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
it's not like anything new. You know, I mean, the Greeks in the Greek culture it was actually accepted. You know, I mean, it was just. You know,
Really?
Yeah, I mean, even a lot of your emperors, you know, like these great emperors were gay. You know,
We're gay.
You know, I mean, it's never really advertised that way, but you know,
So,
we always
but
think of.
isn't there only like one little tiny thing in the Bible, like the Sodom and Gomorrah? Do you know like the specific story?
Well, I think like Paul says some.
Paul said some stuff
He
about
said
it, and
some-
he was the one that came 50 years after and decided that he knew what fucking Jesus said.
He had a revelation because
He
he
had a
fell off a
revelation.
cart on the road to Damascus.
He smacked his head.
Yeah, I guess, and fell over and
That's
had
where,
the
like-
vision of seeing Jesus, and he changed. I mean, most people really follow Paul. They don't really follow Jesus.
That's
And this is the argument that I always get into with people. I says, you're following Paul.
Right.
You know, and the reason, like, I mean, how do you get from this person that, you know, that just talks about love and loving your neighbor and turning the cheek? How do you get from, you know, worshiping such a man and saying that he's God, and yet here you are burning crosses on black people's lawn?
Right.
How did you get there?
Right, and hating gay people.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no
or black
connection.
people. I'm just
yeah,
talking
or
about
black
even at this
people.
point. I'm talking, you know, just
Yeah,
this
people
hate.
that are Christian.
You know, how did you all of a sudden? Yeah, so now you're hating these black people and you're burning. How does that happen?
Yeah, where the fuck
And
does
here
that
you-
come from?
Well, I
Yeah.
have an idea. I saw this video of these Mormons. They went to this house. You know how they try to sell you on Mormonism? Or, you know, the kids
Yeah,
come with
yeah,
the Bible?
yeah, absolutely.
So it was a black guy, and the
The
black guy
missions.
was very religious, and he like called him out on their shit. They're like, wait, I want to read you your Bible, white guy. And it showed, he pulled out a scripture in his Bible that showed that it says in the Bible that dark color of skin was because of a sin. That insinuating that black people are bad, that they're dark because of something bad they did. Does that
Really?
ring a bell?
But that doesn't say it actually in the Bible.
Do you
It
know
might
what I'm
say.
talking about?
It might say.
It says it in the Book of Mormon.
Maybe something like that.
Well, there is something, you know, that in the Bible that, you know, that I'm not sure how that worked, how they extracted that idea that
Much time is left.
that black people were the mark of Cain.
48 seconds.
Okay, because I just saw that was 24. I'm like, that's only 20 minutes at a time. So
okay.
So just
Yeah, so how-
hit it
so
again.
how-
Yeah, we
did-
started that early.
Yeah.
So how did black people become the mark? You know the story of Cain, right? Cain killed Abel.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
talked about this last time.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden, you know, it became the mark. Somehow they took something to say that black people were the mark of Cain, even though really it's just up to your imagination to really reach that point. And so that's how the South. It was very that belief was very prevalent in the South, and Mormons you weren't even allowed to be a Mormon if you were black.
Really?
Because they were
Mormons
big-
are racist as shit, huh?
Oh yeah, they were big in that, and then later on they changed their mind about that. The whole thing.
Later on, they
Changed
changed
their
them.
mind.
Well, they should be allowed to change
Yeah,
their
we
mind,
talked
right?
about
We
that
talk
before.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they should. Just
you
hit it.
should be
Yeah.
allowed to.
Yeah, people should. Like I always thought that I'd
Start
be.
realizing you're a bigoted fuck.
Right.
You should be able to fucking change your mind.
Right.
Yeah. And
Be-
don't hold people to it.
Yeah, let it go.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we used to think. We changed our mind.
Yeah,
That's a
change
good
your
thing.
mind,
Isn't that
yeah.
what we want?
Right.
You want to be.
We need to change.
Like I always
The
thought.
Catholic
like,
Church needs to change a lot.
See, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan.
yeah, but you know.
Joe Rogan was just talking about that we love somebody's idea and like, no, you had that idea, so you're stuck with that idea.
You're stuck with that
You're
idea
saving that
forever.
idea.
Yeah, yeah, and
We're
that's
gonna
what
hold that
happens.
against you forever.
Yeah,
That's why
right.
People love doing that.
Yeah, they do.
You know?
They try to and make you a hypocrite.
Yeah, we
you
love
know?
him.
Well, if you're a
Meanwhile,
follower-
like we live in such a hypocritical society,
I
like
know.
everything's fucking hypocritical.
I know.
Well, if you were a politician, like I remember, I don't know, for some reason I remember, you know, the whole thing with Casey, with like Governor Casey and Scranton when they were running against each other. Like they started showing pictures of Scranton when he was a hippie,
Yeah.
with long hair and everything.
Right.
And so it worked.
Right.
It
So
took
even
him
though
down,
but even though Scranton changed, well, like he later became like a Republican and all that kind of stuff, and he changed.
Yeah.
But just because maybe he, had was a hippie, that's why I thought it'd be if I was a,
It's
politician,
ridiculous.
They could get.
It's the judgment, right? I mean, with the, judge
Yeah, 'cause
not
here
lest
you are,
ye be
18
judged.
years
That's
old.
one of the biggest sayings in the Bible. Judge not lest ye be judged yourself. or
Yeah.
some
We all
fucking
judge.
shit.
I know. It's
Everyone
so weird.
judges, dude.
Oh, religion.
But people
nuts.
rationalize that, Judge.
They
I mean,
do.
you can. Now, I always argue though that you can discern though.
Discern. Well, how do you
Discern. I like the word discern. Because you do have to kind of discern, with people. You have to you have to
gotta
know where
feel
they're
them
at.
out.
What about-
you wouldn't want somebody that's like a pedophile. You wouldn't want them. You'd want to be able to.
What about
decide,
this?
So there's
"There's
some
something wrong with this
there's
guy."
justified judgment,
Concern.
It's not really
justified concern.
What
it's
about this?
not-
I delivered to a
it's not
daycare. And there's a
judgment.
guy. I delivered to a daycare. Okay, and there's like two men.
that run it?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah. I don't know. I like how Riley's is all women. I
Yeah,
like
I do
that.
too. I was.
Wait till
yeah.
I like
because I got a
that.
board with Eli. I was really stoked that his second grade teacher was a guy.
Yeah.
That was
Teacher's
really cool.
different than daycare.
Teacher's different.
Daycare.
You gotta change them.
Are they two gay guys?
He doesn't seem gay to me.
No.
No.
I
Just two
wouldn't-
black guys.
I wouldn't
don't know.
distrust a gay guy necessarily. I mean, because that's, that doesn't mean that they're a pedophile. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because you could be like if you
See, I try not
if
to-
you're like a pedophile, that could either way you could be with little girls.
Yeah, I don't
or
know if I want
whatever.
like a strange man, changing my daughter. Like if
Right.
it feels good to me. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's why I had a problem with that.
But I'm okay with being protective of your kid. I think you should be allowed. It's okay to be a little protective.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like, you're allowed to discern though between if maybe somebody's trying to.
Is that a
con
good
you,
example
right?
of what we were getting at? What I'm saying is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, you want to.
It's okay to
be stupid.
You don't want to be stupid.
Yeah, you don't want to
Right.
be stupid. You want
But
to
you also
know,
don't want to be a dick.
You want to be able to check. You have a right to check somebody out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That enters your life, and particularly if they're into your family. You have a right to discern and figure out. But judging is different.
What about your
Right.
daughter's?
It's basically where it comes from. If you I think the judgment is whenever you're looking at people that either you disagree with or that makes you feel uncomfortable. Not uncomfortable, but mostly disagree with. Religions. Okay, I am Christian and these people are Mormon. I'm right, you're wrong.
Right.
That's a judgment
yeah.
that I think is some bullshit.
Yeah, that's judgment.
Yeah, and there's caution. I think that's what you're talking about, is being more cautious.
Maybe caution. I guess I use the word discern because I was at the spa. There was this guy. I was getting, because I said I didn't think it was right to be judgmental.
Right.
But if all of a sudden somebody's serial killer.
No, I have the
Yeah,
best example.
You don't really want to,
cautious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's what a lot of the media and shit feeds fear into people to keep them judging or to keep them overly cautious.
I have the best
Well,
example.
To divide.
But you should be cautious, though. I
You
mean,
should be cautious.
Look, you told a story about that guy. I don't want to get into the details
About what?
of that woman. What he did.
Oh, yeah.
front of
Oh, in the last
children and
episode.
everything.
All the time. All
that
the
happens.
time.
And
All
so
the
if
time.
you're not cautious, if you're not if you got to be on the ball.
Especially women.
Yeah.
Especially women. They should
yeah.
never trust a guy ever. I don't care. Just don't trust men. Always keep your guard up with men.
Well, remember,
Yeah, because they all have the same
Well, I'm
thing.
gonna,
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
yeah.
This is sort of you're treading on that sort of when you talk
Yeah.
about. Remember, I got into trouble a little bit with on Facebook because there was it was about about because the black guy was dressed really well.
Yeah, explain the story.
Okay.
I and that.
Do you want me to explain it, or are you forgetting? There was
Yeah.
a picture of an elevator. It was a video or a picture?
Well, a video.
A video,
of-
and there was a lady clenching her purse, kind of had her hand on her purse, and there was a black guy behind her.
Okay.
So my dad's point is,
You shouldn't really. Why should you trust anybody if you're a woman?
Who cares if he's
Who
black?
cares if it's a black
Yeah, it
dude?
doesn't
Right.
matter
Yeah.
whether they're black.
So here's my wallet. Like just because you're black, I'm
Right.
just gonna like.
well, I
But that's
guess
like one of those things that is embedded in our society. Like I think that racism is nourished in a lot of ways. You know, like what we see on the news is a lot of black crime, and I think it's force fed to us. And because what if it was a white guy behind her? Maybe she would have been like fine. You know, like that. I think that
But then the white guy could have robbed her.
could have robbed her too. Yeah, right.
He
But
could have
there's
been dressed really
something.
nice and
Right.
robbed her. You
But
know?
my
Right.
dad's saying like you shouldn't throw up your guard just because he's black.
No, you shouldn't.
Like, that's not racist.
No, you shouldn't. But like,
Right.
where does that come from? You know, like, why does race matter so much
You know,
to
I mean, you should
certain
just,
people?
Yeah,
you should
why-
always be cautious. I mean, you don't know anyone. You're in this elevator, and you're a woman in particular.
You should be cautious.
Actually,
You should
this
be
other
cautious
woman
of everyone,
defended
then.
my point of view that look, you know, like you don't really know anyone, and you have to be
Right.
cautious in there. And I suppose the video was trying to, you know, I guess, I mean, if you were like. Just because the person's black and all of a sudden you were afraid, you know,
Right.
is one thing. You know, I guess is something that, like you were saying, that we're conditioned
Right.
to be, you know, to be racist. I mean, our whole society. I was watching this one show called Marshall. I
Yeah.
thought it was really good. It was about took place in the 40s, and it was Thurgood Marshall. He was one of the first Supreme Court justices.
I always hear that name.
Yeah.
Well, he was
Yeah.
he was the first Supreme Court justice and
First
black.
black one.
You know?
Yeah.
And he went into he went around and defended black people. But the first thing he would say though is that, are you innocent? Because if you're not innocent, I'm not defending you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right.
No shit.
You know, if you rape that woman, I'm not defending you. If you tell
Yeah.
me, I'm asking you, did you rape that woman? And if you convince me that you didn't, I'm going to defend you. But if I think you did,
Yeah.
I'm not defending you. And that was what he did. And
Yeah.
I thought that it was the acting was done well. I don't know, because I sent you another email where I
Is it
thought
a newer show?
Huh?
Is it a newer show?
Yeah, it's actually
Okay.
new. Yeah,
A
it's
show
on
or a movie?
HBO.
It's a movie
Or
or show?
Showtime.
It's a show.
It's a movie.
A movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. Just a movie about. Now, it may not have been historically accurate in all its
Yeah.
because a lot of times Hollywood is a big distorter of history
Yeah, big time.
and truth.
Yeah.
A lot of times I didn't particularly look up the story with this, but like a lot of times I'll watch like certain movies and or series or whatever, and I'll look to see how accurate it was.
Yeah, you always do.
Because because a lot of times like
you
Hollywood,
look at like the reviews.
No,
No,
the
actually,
real
yeah.
story.
Oh,
The
like
real
as
story,
you- yeah.
yeah, like for example, there's this one series that I really loved. Jason probably couldn't get into it, but it was called The Tudors, and because I'm
yeah.
very much into historical things, and so it took place during King Henry VIII.
Yeah, it's
the
like
one who
monarchy
killed all
type
his
shit.
wives. And all
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah.
But it was more than that. It was about the culture and what England was like, and it was horrible. It was
Yeah.
horrible for people.
And it was accurate.
Well, there was some. I think there was some. I think it was probably pretty accurate in a lot of ways. But I think they took some liberties with some of the, some of the, the people like
Yeah.
the Queen. I think and different things. I think was. They sort of changed. I don't know why they did. I don't know why they changed some of the things that they do. There was a little bit, but I thought overall, it was a good representation of that time period.
Right, that's cool.
Like I just love like things about Romans, like on Netflix. I watched this latest
Yeah, you
about
do.
Julius Caesar.
Yeah.
You didn't like 300 though. You didn't like 300.
Yeah, but
That was very Hollywood.
300 was a
Yeah, it was.
It was okay.
It was fun. It was just fun. To
It was a
me.
fictionalized thing. but
Yeah.
Yeah, did you
liked-
watch Sparta?
Yeah, that was good.
That was a cool
No,
one.
I liked that.
And they canceled it. That was a good one.
yeah.
That one girl was so
Yeah,
hot.
I followed that series.
She like big boobs.
Yeah, and then
She
she,
got, like,
showed them all
raped.
the time.
Or she got like raped the one scene or something.
I thought it was. Are you talking about the chick that was his like wife?
Brown hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
her.
that she was like in. She was in. The next one too. She's in Game of Thrones.
Oh, is she?
Yeah,
They
I
probably
think so.
all
Game,
like.
do you like
Yeah,
Game
they're
of
all like
Thrones?
homies.
Do you
Yeah,
like Game of Thrones?
I love it.
I do too.
I think it's
I
like
don't know why.
it's one of the best shows that's ever been on TV.
I can't explain it.
No?
But you know what?
I think it's just entertaining, like all around. Like it's got the crazy action shit. It's got the historical, like, you know, the old school
conflicts,
the conflicts, the
Between the
drama.
kings,
but then there's humor involved. Like
and
it's
darkness.
Just, it's
Naked
in
girls.
dark. It's real dark.
Very
They got
dark.
nice titties everywhere.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
the
There's
whole
titties
it's got the
everywhere
whole
in that.
package.
It's got religion
yeah.
in it.
It's got religion.
dangers of religion.
Yeah, and then fantasy with the dragons,
Yeah,
like sci-fi,
fantasy.
like, and it's not sci-fi, but it's the fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more like fantasy.
Fantasy,
No,
rather than
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
Like I was on the another email about the Hollywood thing. I was
Yeah.
telling him that sometimes I like a movie that's 100% fantasy
Yeah.
and fiction.
Right. I
rather
like
than,
that
rather
shit
than movies
too.
that distort. You know, like there was that one. What's that name of that?
Oh, we didn't do our intro again.
Oh.
All right, here we are. What the fuck, but why?
Episode
Episode
23? 24.
4.
So are you gonna put that in the beginning? Or
No,
we
just,
just
yeah, we fucked that.
I was remembering it, but you wouldn't stop talking. I was like, I had a feeling.
I recognized it like right at the very beginning when we
Yeah.
first started.
Like, what's the name of that guy lately that's been in the news? You know, I guess he's having a lot of trouble with drinking and all that kind of
With
stuff.
drinking and all that shit?
He's got a beard now, and he was in that one movie, you know, where I guess they helped these people escape from Iran or something like that.
No. Oh, the one where they had like the fake news reporters go in there. Is that the one you're talking about?
Well, because he's in the news a lot lately. He's having trouble with his wife, and he's drinking too much and all that kind of stuff.
Johnny Depp.
No. He's
Brad Pitt.
so, you know, you see him. He's in a lot of shows, you know.
Alex, look that up.
But
Yeah.
but anyway, the point of it was that particular movie. I can't remember. Was that Canada was mad that they were not given credit because they were actually.
They were the ones that did it.
Yeah, they were really.
Yeah.
And so the United States and him and that CIA agent took credit when they never even mentioned about Canada.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They never
that's
even
true. I
mentioned
do remember that. Yeah,
Canada
they-
was very
and
important.
it was the
in their
Canadian.
escape.
They flew them from Canada. Weren't they Canadian newscasters that they were faking?
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know
now.
exactly what you're talking about. What was the name of that movie?
And that's sort of irritating.
That is irritating. Like, that's bullshit. That's Hollywood bullshit.
There's a
I
lot
can
of-
only imagine, like, this stupid, fake bullshit that
Ugh.
goes on in Hollywood.
There's a lot
I
of-
partied one time there, and it was... I just didn't like it. I spent $400 in, like, a night, and we were trying to sneak in. We were, like, 19, though.
Fake white teeth, the tans.
Oh, God. And, like, everyone's talking about where they saw this person. Oh, I saw fucking Julie Roberts at
Yeah.
Starbucks. And it's
Yeah.
like they're all talking about people they don't know.
Yeah.
And, like, where they saw them and, like, what they're doing. Like, they're all worried about the people that are on top. It's fucking...
Yeah, I saw on
It's
Facebook.
maddening.
Everybody was fighting about, Nicki Minaj and Cardi,
Yeah,
and Cardi
she's
B.
gross,
Well, and
dude.
Cardi B.
Cardi B's cool.
Anyways, they got in like a fist fight.
Did they?
Yeah, some
That's
big
hilarious.
fight. Well, I think it was Nicki's friend, but Nicki was there, and everybody's like fighting about it. And
Really?
I'm thinking like, you don't even know these people.
Yeah,
Everybody's fighting about people they don't, even know.
Yeah, you don't even know.
You don't
these
even know
people.
them. They're like
Yeah.
getting mad at each other.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, like Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
They're screaming at each other. All caps.
Everyone's asshole.
All
'cause all
caps.
caps. Everyone's yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
For what?
Jennifer Lawrence, like
Right.
you
Yeah,
know,
like,
I
you
mean,
don't know
she is
these
very
people.
opinionated.
See, that's judgment. That's bad judgment.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna fucking...
There's judgment. Somebody
Yeah.
that's just you're not you know it's just.
I know a good example of like where judgment, you would have to like calm down your judgment when your daughter brings home a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna really scrutinize, you know.
You're gonna be cautious as fuck.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no-
gonna think what's going on.
That's a good
here?
example
That
for
is a
you
good-
because you're like
yeah.
Mr. like not judgy. But,
I try
but when,
not
when
to be.
Mia brings somebody, I'm not saying you're going to judge, but that'll be a good test. And he has like
Well, we talked about this. I'm gonna fuck with
and
him.
he has a teardrop
But you
right
know what
here.
the thing.
All tattooed.
The only
up.
thing
That's
about
true.
it though is that as a dad, you only make matters worse.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Because they never believe. You
No,
know, that's-
they don't listen to you.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times. you
And
know,
like that little fucker's gonna, the little dude that comes home is really gonna be honest with me.
Yeah, right.
No, I'm
yeah.
gonna fucking
I
think
got an
that-
8-ball on my tree.
Yeah, right.
you know, I think one of the bad things about our society that never was that way is that there was this lack of respect for old people. For some reason,
Like there was or there is.
so there developed this lack of respect.
Oh, right
for
now?
older people. You know,
Yes.
people. I mean, like if somebody like has been, you know, you figure somebody's like 90 or 70 or whatever.
I think it's 'cause of the
they've
internet.
been around.
I think it's because of the
Yeah.
internet. Kids think they know everything now because
They
they looked
do.
it
and you
up.
got some 16-year-old
You're
they
right.
Wisdom
know
doesn't
everything.
make sense
I mean, you haven't
anymore.
lived.
Wait, what's
Right.
oh damn it? There was a good quote that like wisdom is knowledge. What's
And
that
experience.
quote? In experience.
Yeah. Knowledge-
Wisdom isn't like looking
no-
something up on Google.
No.
No. It's
It's
through
having
experience.
experience.
Knowledge and experience
Right.
equals wisdom.
But we do like finding things out for ourselves. We just do.
Yeah, you kind of have
We
to.
Yeah,
just
we
do.
struggle with it, but you know, I'm not. Even though I think sometimes, you know,
We want to see the good in people.
I-
Yeah.
That's a good quality.
you
We
do.
want to see the good in people.
I mean, a lot of times if somebody
What do you
says
What do you
something-
mean by like the respect of elders? Like you
Look,
think?
I think that's. I think the respect of elders somehow got lost in our culture.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm with you too.
I think you know what I mean. I think
I am
something.
too, but like at the same time, like
We're
Like, you
Peeping at 'em.
can't,
Get
you
the
can't
fuck out
trust
the way.
anybody over 30.
that's
Remember
fucked
that?
up.
That was a big.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, what's
Well, that was a big that was a big '60s thing.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Yeah.
Yeah?
If you type that in, you can't trust anybody over 30.
I don't remember.
That was a big '60s
Well,
thing.
you know what it probably is. I wonder if this is it. I just flashed a thought, like.
Let it rip.
Because like the newer generations are trying to change things,
Yes.
and like older generations are trying to keep them the same.
Yes.
You know, and there's
Great
like
point.
There's
because
always
I-
that
because-
Give me a high
conflict.
five. That's a great
Yeah, it's a good
point
one, right?
there.
And like that's how I feel a lot about like older generations' ideas on things, like marijuana's bad,
Yes.
and
Right.
That's a
shit
great
like that.
point.
You know, like,
Fucking awesome.
and it's
point.
basically the kids.
I'm cutting you off. Awesome point.
I know, dude, you're fucking distracting me, dude.
Keep going.
But that's probably what it is. Like, it might not. Like, there needs to be. And I hate the way that older people were treated. Like, whenever. Like, the fucking nursing homes and shit.
Great point.
I
Things
can't
have.
stand-
Luckily, things have improved, but they used to be. I mean, they were. Things have gotten better because of a lot of lawsuits.
Yeah.
You know, so I think. You know, I always like, you know, because I spent 33 years, you know, working at Mayview State Hospital
Right, right.
with the, you know, with the, you know, all different levels, you know, all the way from, you know, well, back then, you know, they were called, you know, retarded, but they don't like that term anymore, you know, they,
Right.
you know, so, but, you know, to people that were mentally ill,
Yeah, that's a whole
And,
different animal.
you know, so I actually sort of lost my train of thought about why I brought that up.
Yes.
I worked at and working with all those you know,
Hey,
different
From
kinds
the,
of people.
but like back to
What were we
the
just
back
talking-
to my
what were we-
beautiful
wait, wait.
point. Let's
That's
go
like
back to my beautiful
changing.
point
Oh, yeah, go
because
back
that's
to-
kind of like, and I see that too.
You lost it. You can
I'll
skip
get
that.
into
Right?
Yeah.
detail about something.
Yeah, I know. You go
Yeah,
off.
we'll go back. We'll get back to
Okay, we'll
Mayview.
figure it out. We'll go to your
But
point.
like,
why I was
because I
saying
feel
that.
I feel that same way. Like, I'm 37. I'm almost 40. But like I feel a connection to like younger people. Like I don't feel like my parents, you know. And
We
I've
talked
been
about
talking
this.
about
Mhm.
like how like we feel young,
We feel
you
young.
know, and like that should be a good thing. That a lot of like, and nothing against you personally, Ray, because you definitely have an open mind. But there's a lot of like older generations that just constantly look down on the younger generations. I mean, look at what they name the generations. You know, Generation X.
Yeah.
And they were fucking horrible. The Millennials. Or what are they called? Millennials.
What about this? Are you done
And they're
with your
supposed
point?
to be horrible. Yeah,
I was
guess.
at Wendy's, and I always eat lunch at Wendy's. There's this old black couple. It's like super sweet. Like, you know, they're probably like 80 years old, and there was TV on,
Yeah.
and it was like Dr. Phil, and it was like this like bitch teenager girl
Yeah.
with her mom, and I saw like the old guy, and they were just like shaking their head, and I was like I know, like I can't imagine like what they're watching. It's hard not to look at our generation like, what the fuck
What
are
the
they
fuck
doing?
are they doing?
We look at this. We look at disaster. If you just looked at TV, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do.
Like she was
Well,
literally
right.
shaking her head, like, "What has happened?" Like,
Right.
you know, we're so
Yeah.
disrespectful. We don't
Yeah.
listen to our parents. We do drugs. We glorify drugs. We glorify crime. We glorify sex. We glorify everything wrong. Maybe not to you, but just like.
But the
is bad, though.
the moral structure of our society. I heard that one.
But so that's my counterpoint.
Yeah,
to your
yeah.
point.
But like
It's a struggle.
Yeah, it is a struggle. Yeah.
You know, I do actually defend, like, you know, when people put down millennials, you know, I mean, because, you know, like, well, Lauren's, Cindy, right?
Yeah.
She sent out this one thing on Facebook about this, you know, showing this dumb millennials, you know.
I know.
And
I commented on it.
Did you?
Good. Sorry,
yeah.
I shouldn't say.
But I said there's always dumb people.
I
You don't
know.
think
Yeah.
in my generation and in
That
your
was my-
generation there aren't dumb
I said
people
the same
like that?
thing.
Yeah, there's
There's
dumb
dumb people
people.
everywhere.
There's dumb
I mean, you
people
pick this
everywhere.
person here,
Right.
and okay, she's dumb.
Right.
But yet, I said what you're on right now was created by millennials.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That was my-
That's a great point.
That
Yeah,
is-
I said-
that's
I
another
said-
good point.
I said
Great
millennials.
points everywhere.
Yeah.
Jason.
I'm gonna do that from now on.
Well, they
Great.
wouldn't let it go though. That one lady wouldn't let it go. She says, "Well, even my son agrees." I says, "Yeah, I you know." But my point was, yeah, there's dumb people. There's always dumb people.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of smart people too.
But there's a
Right.
bunch of, like...
Then back
I mean,
to
I
that
don't-
judgment, like judging.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
You know,
But,
judging
like...
a certain, like, you know, Generation X or Generation.
There's
you know,
just,
like,
there's like, I don't know, dumb people or just people that want to be right.
Yeah.
And then you're going to call them dumb. You know what I mean? Just because they don't agree with your thoughts.
Well, we always get into this. What's dumb and what's smart? You know?
Right, right.
What makes somebody smart?
Smart. Is it their memory?
Yeah, is it their memory?
Or their ability
I like some of those
to
things.
comprehend?
What about this? Our
stupid person doesn't know they're stupid.
Yeah.
my uncle Dave. Okay, he's
I feel like I look dumb, but I know I'm not dumb.
But my uncle Dave, right? He's like not. He's kind of like he can't read. He's has he's
Yeah,
dyslexic.
dyslexia. Yeah,
he
yeah.
can read.
But guess what? Difficulty reading. Anytime we need something figured out, who do we give that toy to? Who do we give it to?
Yeah.
Uncle Dave. Every time.
Right.
He figures it
Yeah, he
out.
figures
Every
it
time.
out.
Right, Dad? Every
Yeah,
toy.
'cause he thinks
everything.
differently.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he had like
The dude built that Mustang.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Uncle Dave.
Well,
yeah.
he grew up with dyslexia,
Yeah.
and nobody ever treated it.
Mhm.
I actually like gave him some pamphlets and stuff, and I don't know. My sister says, well, they've survived this long without it, you know. But I with him with that problem. I mean, they get like his mother gave
It's
him.
funny.
That is funny.
What, did you turn it off?
No,
Yeah,
it's
it
just,
clicked. There we go.
Oh, okay. Like his mother gave him a bunch of books. You know, I can't remember the name of the series of books, but I thought it was putting the cart, you know, in front of the horse. I mean, like that $500 that he spent should have been going to a specialist. But instead of spending $500 on those books, they should have spent $500 trying to correct that dyslexia problem.
Can you correct dyslexia?
Yeah.
You
right.
can?
Like
Because if
the
you
guy-
can't read, then why give somebody a book? If you have trouble
Yeah.
reading, then what's the point of
Yeah,
giving
I
them a
know.
book? Is that what you're saying? The cart in front of the horse?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, why would you? I mean, because that's not his problem. Because he's smart.
Very smart.
And he has and he's had a lot of common sense.
He has a great comment. With me and Dad, we're freaking out, throwing it. Give that to me. Give that to me. Just twist the thing. You know, we're like flipping it upside down.
Really? Yeah.
Right?
He's always
Yeah.
calm about
He's very
things.
mechanically
Yes,
minded.
yes.
You know, and he's always calm about things. Like a lot of times, you know, like we years ago, like a lot of times, I'd help him do something with my car or the garage door opener, and I would be reading the instructions,
He would just do it.
and then he would
He just figures it out.
kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
He knows how to put things together.
Yeah.
You know. But if he didn't have that
But
dyslexia problem, he
So,
probably would be like
Do you,
really.
do you know anything else? Like,
An engineer.
I'm kind of ignorant on dyslexia. I know like the words or the letters look scrambled to them.
Yeah, you don't know the difference.
Like, how do you how can you relate
they're
to someone?
backwards.
They're
Like,
backwards.
But you know,
But can't you learn how to?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Like, isn't it the same thing with like color blindness? Like, that's red. I know it's purple, but okay, I'll call it red, but it looks purple for my.
It's hard though.
You know what I mean?
It's
Yeah.
hard though if you're colorblind because you just see things in shades of gray.
Yeah,
So
there's,
it's
and
kinda
there's
hard
different
to know.
and there's
You're not
different
gonna
like
know what red
extremes
is.
of color blindness. But you know what I mean? Like
You got those glasses
if
now,
if
though.
you're colorblind and you can't see the color green and it's a certain shade of gray, but they call that certain shade of gray green, you're gonna call that green. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing with dyslexia? Like if you see a backwards R, is the R
Yeah,
always
it's
the
like
same
yeah,
looking?
because our alphabet, like if we had an alphabet that was symmetrical, perfectly symmetrical, there would be no problem.
Okay.
But our alphabet isn't symmetrical.
But it's weird though.
You know what I mean?
You ever
by,
see on
by
Facebook?
symmetrical?
No,
No,
what?
yeah.
Well, like
Do
A,
you?
like
No.
like
Okay.
A doesn't
Okay.
matter whether it's back, but whether it's this way or that way.
Right,
Right.
right.
But R does.
R does.
F does.
F does.
J does.
You know what's funny though?
So
A lot
why
of
would that
letters,
matter in
L
like
does.
a dyslexic's mind?
Well, something.
Like if it's a backwards J and they sees a J
Yeah,
backwards
but I
all
feel
the
like
time.
I'm dyslexic.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I
Well,
have it.
Yeah, huh?
I feel like I have it.
Do you?
I have
Yeah.
emotional dyslexia.
So I can explain it. Like
Okay,
I'll
explain it.
It's when I'm tired. Okay, it might just because I'm tired, but like I'll read Riley a book, and it'll be like, say like the mother goose went to the store, and I'd be like, the goose and store gets like mixed up. So I'd be like the goose, like I'll be like the mother goose store, or like I mix the word, not just the letter, but literally the words. Or I'll be delivering.
That's different.
Okay, or I'll be delivering to an address. It'll be
Are
like,
you reading it faster than you're speaking
I don't
it?
know. Or it'll be an address. It'll be like 1922, and I see it as like, 1922, and I see it, or 1923, and I'll see 1932
32.
all the time.
Really?
Yeah, and I always wonder
Well,
if,
how do
if
you
I'm
do?
tired or
Or if
it's
you're
dyslexic.
I mean, I don't see.
Huh.
You don't
Do you
have
sh-
a.
I
have to
always had
shake it
trouble.
off?
I always had trouble reading
But you recognize it.
Well, remember.
after I mess up and have to run back.
Well, but,
Really?
Yeah.
But remember though, like.
Because you just glance. Sorry.
I
Ray.
think, but yeah, not to cut you off. Like I think when I talk to other drivers, they say the same thing. So I wonder maybe if it is a matter of being
you might
tired.
have. No, you.
Speed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
speed.
You have like a tracking problem. Which
I
is
do?
different.
Because
Yeah.
he had to take me to school and stuff because I get tired when I read.
Yeah.
Really?
My eyes,
I
my
do too.
eyes.
Well, see,
Yeah.
like
I
one,
figured out
like
with my eyes.
it took me forever. I didn't really actually realize it, till I went to college, and I was really struggling in college. I was having a hard time understanding everything, and so I went to an eye doctor and said, I'm really tired. I can't like keep up with my my schooling and everything because there's just so much. And he said that I have a problem with convergence inefficiency.
What the fuck is that, Ray?
Okay, what that means is like years ago when we had car headlights, we used to have to align them. Like if the car headlights are like this, okay, and they go straight, like
Yeah.
if all of a sudden if both of your lights are just
Oh, I see what you're saying.
like if you
I
have two
don't.
flashlights, let's say if you have
I
two
see what you're
flashlights and you're walking down with two flashlights,
Yeah.
but if you put the flashlights together, it's gonna make a big light in
Right.
the middle.
Right.
But if your light, but if
Like
it's turning this
then
way,
there's a dark spot in the middle.
there's a big dark spot
Yeah,
in
and
the middle.
your eyes were doing
and so
that?
I had that
Huh.
problem,
Convergence?
and so I was, and Jason had.
Were
that.
you going this way? Were you going
Well,
inward too far, like cross-eyed? Or?
That's actually different. That's like cross-eyed.
Okay.
The eyes are actually going out.
Holy fuck.
The eyes are going out. But the bad thing about it is though when they test you like in school and then they tell you to close one eye and this eye, that's actually makes it easier.
Yeah.
And then but the problem isn't so much in distance. You could do a chart, like you could have perfect 20/20 and you could have a chart and you could pass it because you're looking at it from here to there.
Right.
But the problem is when you get closer. As you get closer,
Then
like when you're reading,
You get a blind
it's
spot.
harder. It's harder to bring your eyes. Your eyes have to come together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Holy
if your
shit.
eyes aren't working together,
It's like lizard eyes.
Yeah.
you're tired.
Yeah, I feel it. I can like
Yeah.
feel it. I have to like
And so
come
I
together.
still,
you know?
I still
Did you get
struggle.
headaches?
I don't
I feel
really.
like that
I
would
never
make me-
really
give
got
me a
headaches.
I never did.
But I still struggle with it though.
Really?
I still do exercises to keep them together because they do have a tendency sometimes to go back out. And so that's one of the things that I always felt like why I didn't do
What kind of
well.
exercises do you do? Like,
Well, there was one of them was to like get a pencil and take the pencil.
oh, and then it works your. Like
Yeah.
You force
And
it
then-
to cross-eye.
But there's two things that a lot of people that you don't understand is like that our eyes have two processes. One is called convergence, and the other one is divergence. And the only way you can understand it with those concentric circles.
Yeah.
You still have that?
No, I don't have it, but
What would you do with them?
I
Like,
don't know. It's
I think-
somewhere.
They have
yeah,
a
but you said you
concentric
needed them.
circle.
You needed them to exercise with.
What?
I gave them to you.
Yeah, in like 1992.
No.
What?
Just last year. I mean, since you were
Oh,
working
explain.
at UPS,
Nobody
they're
cares.
like they're like
what you're talking about. Holy shit.
they're circles. They're like circles. They're like circles, and then each one's a different color.
Okay.
And the idea is, well, when we're done, I'll point that out. There's two ways of looking at that. It's really kind of hard to explain. The divergence, the convergence of eyes. But when we're done, maybe we should probably not get into this.
Yeah, it's.
But
We already lost. like
I'm
5
really
people. You're
interested.
into it?
Yeah, fucking, I'm interested
But
in
when,
it. But we can
when
change
we're
it.
done, I'll show you like the difference between convergence
And
and
divergent.
divergence.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
two-
we can move
There's two
on.
ways to it's. I think it's in the.
I was just saying, it's hard to
divergence is
explain.
hard.
You have to see
But
it.
you have to see
You
like
have to
the
see-
exercises.
Yeah.
To be, okay,
to understand,
that's
like
fine.
they come together, like yeah. It's
No,
like-
we could actually,
See.
like, I mean, when you're doing the video, I mean, if you wanted to include this, you might not even want to include
I'll
it.
put it up.
There's videos that shows.
Well, you have it at your house. I gave it to you last week.
There's actually videos out there that explains the difference between, and it shows you on
There's
YouTube.
fucking videos for everything, right?
And this is
It's
great. I
amazing.
think YouTube is one of the greatest.
Oh,
things.
it's amazing.
It's amazing, and it's like, is it good or bad? Like,
No,
it's
I think it's
gotta
good.
be good,
I think
right?
it's good.
It's
It has
good.
bad. See, that's one of the things.
It has bad.
See, like one of the
Like what? What's bad?
Well, like there's like fake news. I mean, fake
Oh, okay.
things. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's why, like, one of my
You're saying with
The
TV,
knowledge
though.
part of it's good,
like one
but
of
the opinion part is fucking bad.
Yeah.
Or we're, at least we're
Right?
not in Russia and we're allowed to have an opinion. Depends on how you look at it. We're
Yeah,
free to
that's
make
true.
this
Yeah,
and give our
it is.
opinion.
Yeah, that is
It's up
good.
to you to sort out what's real and what's fake and what you believe
Right.
in.
And
So maybe
that's-
it's overall
Right, good.
good.
And that's one of the things that's been bothering me about Trump lately, And not to get into
Here we
this
go.
anti-Trump thing.
No,
No. I mean,
we're going down.
I get it. I get the whole thing. Why people, like Trump. I understand that.
Yeah, I
And
think
actually
I've
explained that
just begun
in the
to
beginning.
understand.
I actually,
I get it.
in the beginning, I understood that whole thing, but I really don't like this whole thing he's doing about that the press is the enemy of the people, because that's our society. Our society is the press and free press, and yeah, there's fake news out there,
Yeah.
but there's also good news, and you have to have both. In other words, press and it has to be free, a free press. You can't just go around, like demonizing the press. Yeah, I mean, so Trump gets all upset because they're saying these bad things about him, but look at Obama. I mean, there's terrible things about him.
Yeah, they
and he
shat
was,
on him
and he
all
was
the-
one of the biggest culprit about the whole birther thing, right? He was the one that pushed the whole birther thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that was a big fake news story.
When you start criticizing the press and you're talking that they're the enemy of the people, I'm thinking like, now this is like Russian shit. You know what I mean? Like you're like, this
Fucking
is
love
what
it.
they do in Russia.
Right. They
Yeah.
don't want.
Yeah,
I know. I get what you're getting at.
America.
It's a freedom we
is
take
freedom.
for granted. Yeah.
Right.
It's annoying and
For
it can be
grantum.
bad, but I said something
For
wrong.
grantum.
Did I? I don't think I
No,
did.
you sure did.
You know.
I didn't whistle once. When you,
I mean, but I understand the idea though that you can say what you want, but there are consequences to what you say.
right,
Yeah,
right. He
And
just
there
blames
should be.
everything on fake news. You're
Yeah.
right on that. But like
But calling the press the enemy of the people,
But
I don't think they're their source of information, and it may be wrong, and it may not be wrong, but the more choices that you have in information, the better off you are. If all of a sudden you're just going to be dictated like they do in Russia
yeah,
and they control the press in Russia.
yeah. it's
I
true.
get. That's where I
But like
get what you're
that,
saying.
but there's a lot of control in our press too. But at least it's two-sided. Like it's not just one press.
Right, because we have
like-
YouTube.
Yeah,
I mean that's the argument
yeah.
though for like even though
But
like,
even left side, right side. You know what I
Right.
mean?
No,
I mean even
agree.
though like what's his name? We were talking about.
And then YouTube is the middle.
Yeah,
you got
and
the
YouTube's the
TVs
middle.
left and right, and we're
Right.
like the
Two
idiots trying to
spread
figure it
legs
out.
and the vagina.
Yeah, right. With the vagina. Yeah.
Who
Those
were
are
talking
raunchy.
about that? I was kind of criticizing that he is a lot of fake news.
Oh, Alex Jones.
yeah, but
Oh,
but
he's
in a
great.
way,
He doesn't know him.
but in a
Okay.
way though, maybe we have to have
But
we
Mike
have to allow
Savage
Alex
was
Jones.
Mike Savage was Alex Jones before Alex Jones, don't you think? You know Mike
Conspiracy
Savage?
theories? No.
They were kind of different kind of thing, like I don't know if I could compare the two.
I just like don't agree with like what's going on with him, but you said you do.
With who?
Alex Jones, like kicking him off social media.
Well, I mean,
I think that's wrong.
Yeah,
Me too. I don't like it.
Yeah, but
Scary.
I mean, like it is kind of like bad though when you know, like there's really no evidence that Sandy Hook is fake.
Right.
You know.
Well, he has evidence.
He's
according
got
to him.
evidence, yeah. I mean,
Like
and
fake
like,
But the
is that
parents,
just...
but the parents are very upset over this.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, how would you feel?
I don't even know all his points on that.
Neither do I.
I don't.
Neither do I.
But I've heard, like, certain
None
things.
of us do. We're all
Yeah.
Well, I
caught
mean,
up.
I'm actually backtracking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I said that, but then
I
I
just-
also
I was
listened-
like-
Yeah, what a hypocrite you are. You were just saying the media.
Hypocrite cram.
Hypocrite.
No,
Hypocrite cram. Skapow!
No,
Because now you want
Well, I
Jones
realized-
off. He was saying there should be a freedom of
Well, but
press.
he's allowed to...
Not according
He's
to him.
allowed-
You
but
said
I-
there should be a freedom
But
of
I
press.
just said
when
that
Alex
though.
Jones off the
Yeah.
I says maybe I was wrong about
I
Alex
know.
Jones.
And now he's
We
changing
can
his
highlight
mind.
it.
Yeah,
I'm
gotta
thinking that
highlight it.
maybe people should be allowed
Yes.
to say what they want to say.
They should, yeah.
And so
See, we
it's-
worked through our thoughts.
But then
on
shouldn't
that.
Facebook be allowed to say fuck off? I
Yes.
don't want you on there.
Yes.
It's just like
Yeah, but they're bigger than that at this point,
Yeah.
though. It's
They
almost like,
are.
It's bigger than this. Like they're just like a little company that has a right. They're like Life now, and they have a responsibility to kind of keep it. I don't know. You're
Neutral.
right. You're right, though. Like,
keep it neutral.
Yeah.
But they should, yeah.
and they're
You know
not.
what's-
It was proven that
No,
they're
they're not, dude. They're firing people left and right. Google's firing people for their political
And that,
views and shit.
isn't that why they were collecting our info to help political candidates?
Yeah.
That's bad.
That's
shit.
really bad, dude.
For how powerful they are. That's
Yeah,
scary.
It
Yeah.
is.
And that's what was happening, and he just got away with
well,
it.
everybody
Right?
was just giving away all their
I know.
information and everything
Not
else.
really giving it away though. Like when they're hearing your voice and then they're marketing
Right.
products to you. Like I
Yeah.
think that's invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. When I was buying a car,
It's okay to do it if they're trying to sell you something, but it's not okay. Like that's so.
You know, it was kind of scary. 'cause
I almost threw
I
up.
always had my headphones in, right? When I was buying a car, I'd be watching YouTube,
Yeah.
and listening to YouTube, and all of a sudden it'd be like, "Are you thinking about a Chevy? Have you tried the Ford Edge?" Like it was like in my ear.
Really?
You don't get that commercial ever? Like I don't know.
And it freaked you out.
Yeah, I don't have to explain those type of
Everything-
commercials.
Yeah,
it was
right,
in my
right.
ear.
You're
I'm like,
like,
oh, literally talking to me, telling me what I was looking at.
Yeah.
Said, "You buying a Chevy? You want that Chevy?"
You want that shit? You should look at the Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use what, you know, like I notice like when I buy things or I'm looking at things on eBay, it comes up on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
it
shit
does.
does.
And it comes
Well,
up on advertisements too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, did I tell you this story about whenever me and him were text messaging? I told you this.
Yeah. We talked about this.
Yeah.
The bomb shelter.
Yeah, we were texting about bomb shelters. He texted me. He was like, "Do you know anything about bomb shelters?" I was like, "I don't know." We had like a text message conversation about it. Text message. And then 2 hours, 3 hours, it was like later in the night, I went on Facebook, and the first thing that came up was Lowe's Superstore, the fucking hardware store, trying to sell me a bomb shelter. And I was like, I looked at it, I was like, whoa, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking Lowe's. I didn't know they had bomb shelters. And then I realized, I was like, holy fuck. I'm
Yeah.
like, they mined my text messages
Yeah.
Yeah.
to try and sell me something.
Google's different. When you go on Google and it's on Facebook,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
all,
that's
like, I
different.
get that.
Like you
yeah.
Google and then I can handle that.
Yeah, I get
Don't
that.
fuck with my text messages. That's when I fucking jumped off Facebook for like 3 months.
but let's-
Yeah, you
I was
did.
like, I'm done.
Yeah, but
dude.
let's
Fuck
take
this
it. Let's
shit.
take it to a new level.
Oh,
Okay,
boy,
let's
Rick.
take it to a higher level about mining us. Remember that that one lady that she was able to actually get DNA from some like pick it up from the street, some person's cigarette butt,
Yeah.
get the DNA and figure out what they look like.
What's this from? I
What
don't even know
the
what you're
fuck?
talking about.
No, she mined like
Yeah.
there was
Yeah.
We'll
mining.
reel this back. You guys
mining
said that like we know
DNA.
what you're talking
In
about.
other words,
You
she
can mine
mined
she mined
DNA.
Oh,
DNA.
jeez.
Like she was showing how you should really be careful. Like
Send me that clip so I
Well,
can pull it
kid-
up.
in other words, like we're so careless in giving out information.
But we need
You know,
to worry
and
about
so
our
then
DNA
we
too.
get upset.
I know.
But then we get upset because they're mining. But we're willingly giving it out.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
We
And
do
so,
willingly
but now
give
out
this
Yeah, we
lady,
do, yeah.
like these ladies and these people are figured out now that they can mine DNA. So she goes around and picks up stuff and then she gets their DNA, and then she mines it,
Dude,
and
that's
she actually
fucking crazy.
And they actually figured out
What is she
they
doing
know what
with
they
it?
look like.
Wow.
How the fuck?
Just from their DNA.
Well, she must have, is she like a super scientist? Like, who
Yeah.
is this lady?
And so what she was saying is that we should be cautious about leaving our cigarette butts, just like how we're willing to just tell everybody everything.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like we're willing to just leave our DNA everywhere, and people can use it against us.
Well,
Our DNA. That's how crazy things are getting now.
Well,
they can actually figure out what you look like.
you know they're changing.
Isn't that wild?
Through your cigarette butt.
Yeah, that's wild.
But then I sent that to you.
I must have not looked at it. You know they're changing the law though, where social media sites aren't allowed to have like page after page of what's that called? And when you sign up, you click accept.
Oh, the
What's that
terms
called?
and agreements.
Yeah, they have to shorten it.
Good.
It can't be like like what's it called? There's like a word
Like
for.
10 pages.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah,
allowed, they're not
dude.
allowed to do that anymore.
You gotta
Good.
Get
Yeah.
You gotta get
Simple
that.
has
They
to
need to
get down-
simplify
yeah.
it. Good.
Yeah, because they just hide things in like.
They
you know,
do. The fine print, man.
Fine
the fine
print.
print fucks you in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, you get to read all that.
Who's gonna read that? Nobody.
Oh,
Nobody.
Brad
Like,
did.
really?
Brad said he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
We-
for fun.
We
but
miss
then-
you, Brad.
Yeah.
They're trying to get after doctors too, to talk plain English
In what-
dumb
in what-
it down a little bit.
patients.
Yeah, dude, I've been talked to by doctors where it's like, what are you saying? And they're so fast.
I've had such bad
I like it they're
experiences
giving
with
you-
doctors.
Oh, dude, I hate doctors. I don't
You
go.
wait for 3 hours. They come in, tell you what you already know, what you already saw on Google. Maybe it could be this, maybe it could be that.
Yeah,
keep an
yeah,
eye
it could
on
be
it,
that,
and then
yeah,
leave.
right,
And
right,
it's
and
like,
then leave.
and then you have the same symptoms. And like, well, it could be anxiety. You blame everything on anxiety.
You can,
and maybe
yeah.
it is.
It could be.
But like with Kirby, she'll
Well,
have
we live
problems,
in
and
a
we never
very
solve it.
anxious-
They've never solved any of her problems.
No.
Never.
And it just went away though, but this time.
Oh,
Oh,
that hurts.
did it? It sounded like it hurt. That was a cheek clapper.
But we're just going like on one.
Thing to
Tangent.
another.
See,
I
you
was
always
gonna
say
fucking
that.
do
I never like noticed that. Every podcast, like, oh, you guys were just on one thing after another. I never noticed the jump of combo.
No, I never do.
I don't like
either.
sticking on
I
one
feel like
thing
it's
for a while.
Well,
flow.
that's what Joe Rogan does. And
Right.
I know you said last time that
What's
you
he
don't want to
do?
be
What,
Joe
he
Rogan.
stays on one topic.
Joe Rogan focus even though they go off on a lot, but he does focus though.
They also have longer podcasts.
Yeah, they do 3
They talk for
hours.
like 3 hours.
They have
Yeah.
special.
We're here for an
Well,
hour.
they'll have
And
a
he's
special-
been doing it for fucking
And 3
how
or 4 a
long?
week. We have one every 2
Yeah.
weeks. We want to get in like
Yeah.
what's on our mind.
But he has like really smart people on there.
Yeah.
Very knowledgeable.
and he can challenge them.
just very knowledgeable people.
Yeah.
He challenges
Well, he
smart
probably
people.
prepares for it. I guess he's.
I don't think he does.
Sometimes he's a dick though. Like, I
Yeah.
listened to that Michaela Peterson one. He was a dick.
He was a dick.
He's a meathead.
He's a meathead.
He is.
He can
Somebody
be a
really
dick.
put him down on this one.
No, when it comes to sorry.
They say that he can. This one.
You got opinions, don't you?
I read the comments. A lot of times. I like reading comments.
I always read comments.
And
Kirby
this
said she's
one
never
comment,
read
they
a
really,
comment
I
ever.
forgot which
Yeah.
Joe Rogan it was, but this one guy really put him down. I mean,
Yeah,
and
people
talking
can
about
dig
a terrible
deep.
person
Yeah, they
that he
can.
really is.
Don't read the
but
comments.
if you think about it, though,
If you're them.
but if you think about it, like they say that Joe Rogan's worth $25 million. And my argument is that somebody doesn't really become a billionaire by being a nice person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, so, yeah, that's true. But I mean, he's.
like you can't.
But you say, find me a billionaire, I'll show you somebody who doesn't pay their employees.
Right.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it is
Well,
a good point.
You know?
It may not. That
Well,
may not.
yeah.
Well,
That may not always be true.
right.
But I would say a lot of times it is.
I'm
You
with
know,
you.
like look at Walmart. I mean, look at those
Yeah.
people. I mean, those people are all billionaires.
Yeah.
And they don't pay their employees well. And then
It's like
and then-
Amazon.
and then they have to use food stamps to feed their children. And so
Fucking
our
Walmart.
government enables them to
Always-
be able
Yeah.
to do
I always
that.
fight with Resnick about that, about McDonald's and Walmart. And I'm always saying, like, well, then we pay, they're getting welfare. Walmart doesn't pay them, so we're paying for Walmart's
For
employees.
Walmart's employees'
He doesn't get that.
benefits.
Yeah, he won't get that through his head. That who cares if McDonald's workers make a couple more bucks an hour? Why does it affect you? They can afford it. So
Yeah,
so
like-
what?
I know, like I get this. I really
They
get
can
annoyed
afford
with this
it.
condescending attitude about people too. Like this one guy, and I'm thinking
It's because
I'm
with
thinking,
I
like,
make 15
you're not
bucks.
even you're not even any better here, and you're talking about, well, why should people just flipping burgers?
make 15
Like,
bucks
Yeah.
an
say
hour.
15 bucks an hour. I think
Dude,
that's so
try.
condescending.
It really
is.
is. Try and fucking.
It's a shitty
I can't
job.
even. It blows my mind that people.
They work hard.
They work
Minimum
hard.
wage is like $7.25
I
in
know.
this state.
You can't do anything with
I
it.
pay my employees $10 an hour, and I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck.
I feel like a dick.
like I feel like an asshole.
Well, I made this argument
I am.
on, like, you know,
Fucking
with,
Hulk.
with,
I'm
Hulk.
nice though.
with people at
Incredible Hulk.
Mayview.
You have green on your nose.
Oh yeah, I'm all green.
Yeah.
I got into this argument with some of the people that work, state workers that I work with, and this one woman was talking about, well, just why should they get 15 for flipping burgers? And I'm thinking, like, you know, you're in direct care. You know, I mean, you don't even have a college degree in what you do, and the only reason that you're making a lot of money is because the unions fought for you to make a lot of money.
make
a lot
Like
of
if you were
money.
like direct care, if you were working like in the private sector, direct care, like, you know, people who work directly with patients, they don't make
They
that
don't
much
make
money
shit.
because they don't have unions.
Yeah,
It
right.
was really unions. You know, it's not like what you're doing. I mean, you know, the only reason you're making $18 an hour is the union's fighting for you.
Right.
But, you know,
Unions
like,
can be
why
good.
should you be so condescending to people that, you know, are flipping burgers? You know what I mean? I do understand, though, that just, you know, I mean, there's some aspect of it I do, but I don't, sometimes I feel like people
I'm
who
always
are
for the man.
criticizing aren't, you know, I don't know why.
I want
mean, they have
everybody
no
to
basis.
get paid more. I'm always
Yeah.
for paid more. Wendy's, I want them to make more. I want you to make more. I want
Yeah.
Julie to make more. I want a banker to make more. I want a teacher, because if that company can afford it, why
Then
do
they
I
should be
care?
able to do
They'll
it.
be like, well, I sort paperwork and I have a college degree. I don't even make 13. Why should? So it gets into that.
Yeah,
because
right.
McDonald's can afford it and your company can't.
Yeah,
like, So
exactly.
that's like, I get it. Well, then go work at McDonald's.
Yeah, then go work at
That's what I
McDonald's
said.
and
If
make
you want-
$15 an hour,
Go to McDonald's.
man.
If it's
Yeah.
that easy, go to McDonald's.
Go do
then.
it, yeah.
But they won't.
They won't.
They'll sit at their shitty
It's-
job and not fight for more money. And diss unions, even though unions stick up for their employees.
Right.
People diss unions all the time,
All
right,
the
Dad? We're
time.
always defending
Yeah, why
unions.
I don't know why people are dissing unions.
All the
That's
time.
got to be trolling and propaganda.
Has to be.
But then some people will argue that.
Mike, our cousin, hates it. He's getting out of his union.
Well, I mean, his union.
He's getting out of his union?
Yeah, he got a new job. He doesn't like being
Well,
in a
which union?
Even
Yeah,
though his
that
union
doesn't
got him a
matter.
better job in benefits, and he still talks shit on the union. What's his
Really?
union? The plumbers union, or no, not plumbers.
Carpenter?
It's the biggest union.
Fire.
It's the biggest union
Laborers
ever.
union.
Laborers union, I think.
Yeah.
But he got more money and benefits, and he still talks shit on it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to quit?
Yeah, he already.
I mean,
got
I think that you're
A lot of
better off.
union guys are like big union
I
guys.
know, not him.
But I think you're better off with a bad union than
The
no union.
Yeah.
No union is bad. Now,
Yeah.
when you go into management, though, you know, you don't have a union.
Yeah, no
Managers
way.
don't have unions.
Hell no.
You can't, like, supervisors still can have unions. But once
Were you in a union at Mayview?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
I was always in a union, and
Okay.
I always, you know, in the beginning though, I was kind of into this kind of conservative thing, you know, about, and I was kind of anti-union and all that kind of stuff. But then in the end, I realized that I wouldn't have all these things that the union fought, you know, because you as an individual. I mean, unless you're really brilliant,
Yeah.
unless you're like I remember one time,
Me.
huh?
Nothing. Keep
No, I remember one time when I worked in this one place, and this one lady says, "Look, you know, like, you know, if you don't give me a $10,000 raise right now," I says, "I'm leaving because I have a job right now that's going to pay me $10,000 more." Because she was very specialized in, at the time, in COBOL. They called it COBOL training, you know, computer training, and then the boss just said, "Well, wait a minute." They went down to personnel, and next thing you know, she got her $10,000.
Really?
But that's the kind of leverage you have to have.
If you're,
Yeah,
smart,
if you're,
right.
if you're,
yeah.
If you're by yourself,
Mhm.
yeah. If you don't have a union
but then
behind
if
your
all of a
back.
sudden, you know, that COBOL becomes common, and all of a sudden thousands and thousands of people now know that, now all of a sudden your leverage isn't there anymore.
Yeah.
So that's, so people, there's a tendency for people to put down.
Well, go-getters.
Labor.
Go-getters don't like the union because they want to climb and climb and climb.
Right, and they want to be able to pay their people shit and keep making more money.
Right.
Like I'm not pro. Like I don't know what the fuck I am, but I do know that undercutting people's a bullshit fucking way to get business. Like, cause I'm in the window cleaning gig, and there's a huge neighborhood called Treesdale, and you can go.
I know where that is.
Yeah, you know where that's at.
There used to be apple orchards.
There used to
out
be
there.
apple orchards, right? And there were 2 different window cleaners that went in there and fucking ruined the whole neighborhood. They because I charge a certain amount of money per window. They went in there and they were charging like 40 cents per plate, and they were like these big homes, and they were doing them for like $25-$30. And I'm in there saying like,
Isn't that fair?
it's
though?
gonna be 180. You're allowed to do that, but now like I don't know, dude. Like the people like that piss me off.
Yeah.
Like I was
'Cause you
like,
lost
what does
the
that
gig.
stand me, huh?
No,
No,
same thing
because they're
happened
like
with-
laughing at me. They're like, "Oh, you're fucking. You want 190?"
Same.
But then at the same time, I'm like, "Yeah, where's your fucking $40 now?
That's why.
Where's the guy that's gonna do it for $40 now?"
Same thing happened to me with graphics, right? Like there's these kids
Undercutters.
who lived at home and don't have a job, and
That
they're
is
charging.
capitalism.
It is
They're
capitalism.
charging $10 a CD cover. I'm like, damn, I can't like.
Yeah, you
I
can't compete with that.
that. And you're just like,
But then, like, you just
they
go,
never last. My kid always
never
says
last.
that they never last.
Yeah, that's
My kid's
true.
watching this right now, like screaming to top.
That's true.
Those are the people.
That's
you,
good.
I bet you.
My
you scream
kid,
that
get
out.
back
Now,
up
if you
here.
could develop a uniqueness as, I mean, why do some of these DJs make $50,000 or $100,000 for a gig? Because they're unique, right?
They're unique.
Yeah, they're unique.
They have
Yeah,
something
yeah,
Or
Yeah.
even
special.
like,
You're-
Paris Hilton, right? She made a lot of money doing hers because she was, I guess she was a celebrity.
Yeah, it's a
Right,
little
and like,
different.
I'm sorry to bring it back to myself, but fucking like that's. But that's like my problem too, is like trying to grow my business.
Yeah.
Like everyone that I fucking have that like they're willing to pay good money, but they want me, and that's fucking fine. But now I got to charge you more because I don't know.
Well, don't
like,
people like want trustworthy people?
yeah, they
in
do want
those
trustworthy
homes?
people, but
So
then
that-
at the same time, I feel pressure to grow my business, so I have to hire people, and I need to train them, and it costs money to do that.
And it
And,
costs
like,
money to have trustworthy people
Yeah,
too, right?
yeah,
I mean, like,
exactly.
you don't want.
So I'm gonna have to
felons,
charge
right?
everybody
Well, he probably
more.
does.
What?
He said, you don't want
You
like
want
felons.
felons?
'Cause that's
I
exactly
have.
why.
That's exactly what I'll take. Fucking anyone. Just show up.
Well, you'd kind of like to know though a little bit, like.
I have felons.
You wouldn't like.
No, I would.
You wouldn't like
No, a
to tell me
felon
the
is
history
fine.
of being a pedophile.
No, I don't want no piddlers.
Yeah, it depends
right?
on what they do.
Yeah.
I don't even care about felony. I want a good worker that has
Yes.
a good work ethic.
That and like it's
Felon,
kind
no
of
felon.
like it's humbling because like I've had like certain types of people, and now I'm to the point like, just fucking show up.
Just show up.
If you show up, like tell me you're a fucking drug addict. Tell
Yeah.
me you're a felon.
But just
like, I don't
show
give a
up.
fuck. Just show up.
Yeah, I agree.
And I can work with it.
All right, look, sorry, but I just killed 10 people.
Right. As long as you show up tomorrow for
Yeah,
the
just
job.
show up tomorrow. You're good.
Yeah. As long as you don't rape kids.
I didn't.
Yeah, don't touch
I
my
didn't mean it
kids.
though.
Right. Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Well, no, you know what? I'd have to
The
understand
problem
the
is I kind
circumstance.
of like killing people.
Right. Well, I mean, there's soldiers out there.
Yeah, soldiers.
There's what?
What if
There's
you're a
soldiers
soldier?
out there
Oh
that do
yeah,
that.
I can tell you a story about that.
Okay.
Like I've had guys like when I was in the military. I mean, I never ended up in Vietnam. I've had guys tell me that they love killing people.
That's
Probably a good
interesting.
excuse for people that.
Do you think that's a defense? Like, are they? Do
Could
they?
be. It could be. I mean, I've had several. Like this one guy, he kept going back. He says he loved.
You know what I mean? They're like trying to make themselves feel okay about it, so they just play like they liked it.
I can see how it could be.
Well, maybe they do though. Maybe they.
Yeah, maybe they do.
Well, he says you think. He says you think
There are
like.
serial killers out there, you know?
Yeah, they just kind of enjoy.
Maybe they
it.
just happen to be in the military.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a good outlet.
Yeah, it's a good outlet. Once you kill one, they don't even see them as human sometimes.
Right.
The gooks.
Well,
right?
but I mean,
Yeah.
like
They're
when
not
you
even
go,
human.
like
Yeah.
when you go into the
They
the
belittle it.
Marines or something. I mean, that's what they tell you to do, to kill. I mean, when I was in the Army, there was like, kill. I mean, the whole and then what they do is like they try. I mean, you go in the
Brainwash.
Army and
They
then
break your brain down and rebuild it, right?
Yeah, because they like them when you're young, and then they want you like
We gotta get Luke
kill
in boot
those
camp.
goofs, you know what I mean, and so on. You know,
I
I
would
mean,
do anything
so
for
they
you in
do.
boot camp.
I mean, you
Make
do
our
have to have a
show.
certain
No fucking way.
kind of
Reality show.
mentality about. But there's different ways of looking. I mean, there's one thing I guess to enjoy killing somebody, and it's another thing to do it as a duty.
As a duty.
Yeah.
As a duty, right? So in other words, you're enjoying killing these people, and you're kind of thinking, okay,
Right.
but you can do it as that's your duty to do it. Like to get back into religion again. Remember, I was telling you about the spiritual group that I was in.
Yes.
And how they wanted you, like if you're Catholic, to go to Catholic, church and
Right.
and be involved
And
with your
fix the
parents.
karma with your parents.
Right, and fix your karma. Like they also believed that it was okay to go into the military, into the army, and kill people. But you're not there to like enjoy it. You do it because that's your job to do, to protect. In other words, you're over there killing people, yeah, but you're not enjoying it. You're just doing it because.
But that
you're
gotta fuck people up.
That's what Tony Soprano said. Why
I
he's
gotta
okay.
piss.
All right, we'll talk. But that,
Keep going?
yeah, no, keep going. Yeah, that's why Tony Soprano said he was okay with it. He told his therapist that he feels like he's a soldier. He looked at himself as a soldier. That's what mafia guys. Because you could look at a mafia guy and it could be, what's the difference between, Tony Soprano and a serial killer? They killed probably just as many of them. Or a gangbanger.
Well,
what about gangbangers in the hood? Like, they kill a lot of
well,
people.
but we've talked about this before, that there is a difference because, like a lot of times, like if you'll notice that, why are white people more likely to be serial killers?
Yeah, I know.
But if a black guy, if they do something, it's usually because of drugs or because they're robbing somebody or something like that.
Right.
They're not, you don't really hear about that
Enjoying
many
it.
black people being serial killers. They do exist.
Yeah, they do.
But
There's also
why is it white people tend to be more serial killers than black people?
well, there's also a significantly larger amount of white people in America.
Yeah, but even proportionally, I guess there's more proportional, with white people. But although I'm sort of distracting, sort of going on a tangent, but the idea that you're a serial killer is something different. Like where you're delusional, but as opposed to you've got a job to do.
Yeah.
You
That's
know.
what I'm saying.
I mean,
Gangbangers and mafia look at that as a
just
job too.
Yeah, but just because, right? That's
So
like,
a serial killer is literally dependent on what you think you're doing, why you're doing it.
right. That's more like a crazy kind of thing. Whereas, like somebody could pay you. Let's say you're like somebody says, well,
You're
you're a
missing
hired
my
person,
point though.
and so you give, so if I give you,
They'll give you a GI Bill. They'll let you go to school and they'll.
Yeah, but you're missing my
No.
point. You're missing my point. Like say like in the '90s, the Bloods and Crips. They got to a point where it was like a sport killing like a Crip or a Blood. So that guy is a serial killer, but like to the world, he's a gangster because he's black. But if a white guy did that, yeah, they're killing people out of a different. They're killing people in a different a psycho way. But the black guy is killing a lot of people too. And he's enjoying it in a different way. Do you get what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say. That they're both doing the same.
They're both serial killers.
Right.
Yeah.
But we look at it because he has a blue bandana. He's a thug.
He's a thug gangster.
Right. But he might be a serial. He might be sick in the head. How could you enjoy killing that
It's
many
like The
people?
Wire.
Well, what if you're like, okay, you could be like, let's say, a soldier.
What about
and
Dexter?
You do it for your country. Let's say you do it for your country. Well, what if you're a mercenary?
Yeah, I agree.
And you're killing people just because you're being paid.
What about Dexter?
Well, I mean, that's
You don't.
that's
You
a
may
lot
not
of it.
necessarily like it.
That's why I said the GI Bill. Like that's kind of like what it is. Like you're a hired gun.
Yeah.
You're
a tool of war.
You're a tool of war.
What about Dexter? He kills
Government
bad
is-
people.
Bad people.
Yeah, your government. Right. So you're, and that's kind of like.
Does that make it okay? Is that
Well,
where you guys are going?
Socrates got into this idea that was the ideal soldier was just like the ideal dog is somebody that isn't going to bite you,
Right.
but he's going to attack those that are threatening.
Right.
So so you train a soldier to kill, but you don't want that training to backfire and then he kills other people. So in other words, he has that proper attitude.
Well, it's really sad.
able to-
It's really sad that a lot of those people are killing themselves now.
But you
Yeah.
think about it, to kill someone, it's there's this as many, they say that like this as many, Vietnam vets killed themselves as that were killed over in Vietnam.
Really?
That's kind of,
Holy shit! I never heard that statistic.
there's a lot
Say
of
that again?
there's a lot of suicides.
Just as many Vietnam veterans killed themselves as were killed over there.
I don't believe that.
Look it up.
Look it up.
I will. Not now.
Where's that?
But
Yeah, look it up.
You
That's
don't
what I've
believe
heard.
it?
no, not really.
I've
They
actually-
said, what's the statistic now? Like isn't there like 50 of them killing themselves a week or something?
Yeah, there's like a high.
That is a huge fucking problem.
It's like, but I think like
a
my
lot.
like my
Oh, yeah.
dad
Yeah.
was a soldier and he had to kill people, but I think he had the right frame of mind. I mean, he wasn't, I mean, he had the right. It was his job to do.
Yeah,
that.
right.
You know, I mean, somebody's killing him and he's got to protect himself.
Right.
But he's also got to kill them.
But then there's
Because that's his
there's
job.
like the higher goal, like you're a soldier to like fight for an idea.
As
You
opposed
know?
to like if you're a mercenary though, you're just fighting.
You're just fighting for money. But you're fighting. But even as a soldier, like I mean, I really do believe that war is fought for profit. You know, like in one form or another, and it's always been that way.
But sometimes wars are.
So
fought
you're
for
not. You might
protecting.
not necessarily begin like you are getting paid because it's your job as a soldier, but you're making money for a bigger thing. You're making money for the
Yeah, but the
government.
problem though with the American soldier, I mean, like even like you're not being paid nearly enough. Like that was one of those things that
Yes.
was annoying. Like these Blackwater
That's annoying.
contractors,
Right.
They were raking in, making lots of money,
Mm-hmm.
but you know the soldier wasn't making as much money as these contractors.
Right.
You know they were
Because
making,
I wonder, like, I don't know enough about like the mercenaries.
It's almost like they
and
take
stuff.
advantage of the soldiers. They should be paid.
Oh,
They should
absolutely.
be paid more.
Yeah, and they should be treated well when they come home. They shouldn't be fucking. I just can't believe they're killing themselves, and I can't believe there's homeless veterans. Like that drives me fucking mad, Rick.
Yeah, I guess something happened in the process. You know, like I mean, it's
Like politicians got greedy as fuck.
like I sometimes I always wondered like what it would be like. You know, I've sort of just I've thought about it, like what it was actually like to be in Vietnam. You know, like the
Like fantasize about it.
yeah, just to actually
Yeah,
be-
just
and
to
the
like
soldiers,
think
see what
about
it's
it. Yeah,
like
put
to be
yourself
over
in their
all of a sudden
shoes.
you got to kill people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you got to do that. Now, I was
Would
saying,
you be able to? You think you would have?
You know, like it depends on I think it depends on your frame of mind. I know, like I was saying, like when I joined the spiritual group, like I was talking about, they believed that it was okay. Like if
Right.
like if you were drafted in the army or you joined the army and it was your duty to have to kill people, that was okay.
Yeah. What was the name of this thing?
Well,
The spiritual group.
they called it like Radha Swami.
Radhaswamy,
Yeah, that was the name of it.
and it was
It's still-
okay.
it's
It was
actually-
okay to go as a soldier and kill people.
Yeah, it was not like this, like like certain, like the certain groups like the Puritans or some of the Quakers. They weren't allowed to kill anybody,
Right.
Because Jesus said to turn the cheek and not kill.
Right.
It says thou shalt not kill. But in this, although some people say it's misrepresented, that it really should say thou shalt not murder.
Murder. Right. Like it's actually okay to kill.
Yeah, you're not
In
gonna
defense.
like if all of a sudden your family is being attacked.
Right.
I mean, you're not gonna sit there and just stand there
No.
and pray.
I see. That would probably be the only way. Like I can understand killing someone in self-defense. Like if someone's coming after me, my family, my loved ones, I'll kill them.
Or if all of a sudden you
And
were
I
being
won't feel bad.
But if you
about
were
it.
being attacked,
Yeah.
I mean, like you figure, like in our history as man, like we've always had to defend ourselves.
Right.
I mean, if you watch any of those shows, like Julius Caesar, like this one recently. I mean, he went into Gaul, into Germany, and he just started killing everybody, and people had to defend themselves.
Right.
And but tribes were always attacking.
that.
So you always had to like.
You always have to defend yourself.
So we've sort of become weak, where it's become commonplace to defend yourself.
Right.
Or even maybe just to take another tribe. You know what I mean? It was, like life before was always a constant state of war, you know what I mean? Where you were always, having to, to kill or be killed.
Or be killed. Right.
They don't
You know
like
what I
it.
mean? So,
I don't know what the fuck I did.
Is the battery dying?
It's starting to.
war is
Rumors
brutal.
about it.
Like I'm sure you've watched Platoon, right?
Yes.
I mean, I guess it's like Jason's, it's one of our favorite movies.
That was one of my.
Platoon.
Yeah.
That's probably the best.
War movie.
War movie, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
like-
People say Full Metal Jacket, but they Full Metal Jacket covers like the boot camp side of
Yeah, it
it.
kind of fell apart when they went to Vietnam. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I mean-
Platoon was really good. Did you ever see Hamburger Hill?
Yeah, that was kind of where they were being killed by their own people.
Yeah, that was
brutal.
crazy.
Yeah, when I used to
They
get
didn't even
suspended, we would watch war movies. Remember when I'd be suspended from school?
Yeah.
We'd watch war movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what
That
we did.
is so cool.
Yeah.
What are you doing now?
Just Facebook living.
Are we still being recorded or
Yeah, we're almost done though, because that battery's about to die.
Yeah, it's close.
No, mine.
no? Well, like,
oh, out there.
Yeah.
well, my dad, he watched Platoon, but he said, well, we all, like the one sergeant, he became like the evil sergeant, right?
Yeah,
And then the other guy became the good guy.
the good guy. Yeah.
But he had been already, that was his fifth tour, and he finally realized that this was all wrong.
Right.
But my dad argued, well, what do you expect? I mean, you're going over there and you have to kill people. So he was defending the drill sergeant.
Really?
He says you have to be tough over there.
Yeah.
You have to, I mean, like, what do you think war is? You think
Yeah.
it's just some game?
Right.
It's tough. Yeah, and
It's kill or be
and
killed, man.
Yeah, and you got to survive. So that sergeant was a survivor, and he felt like that the other guy was losing it, and he was going to get killed
Because he was being too
He
kind.
actually did get killed in the end, didn't
I
he?
think he did, yeah. The dude that, what's that actor's name?
He's good too, because I always thought he's been in a lot.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
I can picture him, I just can't think of
Yeah.
his name.
Yeah,
Well, anything else you want to talk about? Because that camera just died, so we're
Yeah,
just on
it's
security
funny.
right now.
Oh, really?
We good?
yeah. I guess we can.
Yeah, I would have been.
Wrap it up.
I wanted to talk about religion more.
I know. We can always somehow keep getting off that.
I know.
Let me think.
So we're not being. Yeah, because religion.
No, hold on. Starting now. Alright, we're off these, but like for an extra footage, if you want to keep watching, we're going to talk about religion on the
All right.
security camera.
Okay.
So this is like
And
religion
we still have
talk
this one going.
and that.
Alright.
So just whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
We're not going to see our ugly faces. Alright,
Well,
let's
we
talk about
started
religion.
on it.
We're on enough.
We started on it a little
It's
bit.
funny how
A little bit,
you
but
always,
like
you
what I
always
wanted
get off
to.
it. So talk about what you want to talk
Like I
Well,
wanted to.
somehow we jump on something. Like we'll just.
You do. In real life, you don't stop talking about religion, and every time on the podcast, you want to stay on it.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I'm
wanna
saying?
stay on it,
Somehow you
yeah.
always jump off
We
it.
end up off.
I don't
it
know. Like
somehow.
I guess if we watch the podcast, like at one time
You'll
when I
figure
got
it
on
out.
the math, it was your fault.
Yeah, it was
Yeah, you
my
figured
fault.
out
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
following
who's
along.
fucking
brought
it
up
up?
math.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And,
right.
I love talking
See, and
about
I never
math.
like really analyzed it that much.
Yeah, because I always love talking about math.
I know
What do you
you
wanna
do like
ask?
that.
I always
What
wish
do
I
you
could
ask?
meet people. Like there's this guy at the spa that's really knowledgeable, and I've been trying to hook up with him.
About math?
Yeah, like I wanted to, some of my theories about why people are bad at math and why people are afraid of it.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about math.
No.
Oh, well, what do you
But
want to
we
know about
are.
religion?
So, like, what
Right,
do you
so let's
think?
get
What do
back
you
to-
think? Like,
See, fucking stay on religion. This segment is for religion.
all right.
I'm putting this out separately. Like this is the religion section.
Okay, so, like, cause I mean, I understand. Like, I've always been against, like, organized religions and shit like that.
It's bad. Or,
It can be, but like, I'm starting to understand like what it's for, like
tribal.
and like, but the reason for it is kind of like there's no scientific explanation on how to live, and I think that's religions are trying to grasp on how people should live, and like I think that you can't, it's hard to mix like a scientific mind and a religious mind, or like mix the two just idea. You know what I mean?
You know what's a good show, is do you ever watch Bill Maher? You ever
No.
Well, he has this one called Religulous.
Oh, I did see that movie.
Yeah, and he goes
Religulous.
around, and he goes around and interviews, people that are like really brilliant, like these brilliant scientists, and ask them, well, why do you believe this stuff? I mean, like how do you separate, believing in this very irrational thing, to while you're a scientist,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't, I mean, there is seem to be this, to be able to separate. There's this need. I don't know if there's this need to believe in something, or I don't know.
Or to have like a guide on how to be. because like I understand like the science and like the factual things that exist.
But isn't there just one? I mean, there's only one rule that you really need to have.
Don't be a dickhead.
Don't be a dickhead. Well, I mean, part of this though is, I guess, if you believe it. I mean, do you believe that you will reap what you sow? Right? Isn't that a line in the Bible?
I mean, I
what you
believe,
sow.
Because I don't.
Karma.
which,
That's
yeah, I
karma.
believe in karma. I
It gets
do.
it gets complicated.
Bad
when
things bad things happen to good people all the time, though. You know?
Right. But that's where when you get into karma, of course, a lot of times, like, discussions about karma, I get into this discussion with this one lady on Facebook, and she doesn't really believe in it, because it does reach a point where it gets, like, it does somehow, well, because the idea of karma, though, ultimately has to evolve around the idea of reincarnation.
Right.
It can't be without it, because the idea that bad things happen to good people, and why?
Why?
And so it's because
past
of
lives.
past lives that you have to work out.
That sounds like an excuse almost.
Well, it can be.
But like, I mean,
Can
but
be.
then that like gets into the whole argument of what is good and bad. Like, what is. What is
Like
is,
you
is.
get cancer.
You got a booger.
Do I?
Yeah, but
Like-
you're not on camera.
Yeah.
Well, those
Should've took a
priests.
picture.
I mean, those priests
For
that
lives.
were having sex with boys,
Right.
altar boys, is bad. I mean, there's no question that these priests, they're not even.
Yeah, that's bad.
They're evil.
That's fucking evil.
They are evil.
Yeah,
and
it
some of
is.
the stories around it is like, these priests are like, it's almost like allowing like Satan to be a priest.
I
Right.
know.
And then the Pope now wants to prayer and everybody be quiet. In the
Yeah.
real world, you go to jail, and so these priests and cardinals were protecting.
I don't know, how do they get away with
They
that
These
should
shit?
evil-
all go to
these
jail.
They all
go to
They should
jail.
all
They're
go
like,
to
it's
jail.
like, there's like,
Well, how do they get a
It's not right.
pass?
It's not right.
yeah,
Yeah, how
why
do they-
should we pray for them? I mean, if you
Yeah,
don't
I
pray
ain't
for
fucking
people in
praying
real
for
life,
anyone.
we
Yeah,
don't care
right.
that they're priests.
No.
Like, what was the special thing about them being priests?
It's,
All they
it's
did was they-
old school mentality.
Yeah, they just went through the thing and
Right.
became priests.
Right.
So that
They rape nuns.
huh?
They
Did
rape
they?
nuns.
Did they?
Yeah, they raped
Did
nuns.
they really?
And sexually
Well, think about
exploited
it.
them.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I guess they would have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible. They've done terrible things, and so I guess
I just made that up, but I'm sure it
And they-
happened.
no, there was actually an article about it. It's
Okay.
true.
Really?
Yeah, I've read an article about nuns are coming out. The nuns are coming out of the woodwork now.
Everything's coming
See,
to
the
light
problem
now.
is nuns typically, like nuns
It's the
are
Catholic
poor.
Church.
They
Yeah,
take
Catholic
on the
Church.
vows of poverty, but priests don't.
See,
So
Wait.
nuns are completely vulnerable to the priests.
yeah.
You know, what I
Like
mean,
they're
'cause they don't
basically
have
servants
nothing,
of the priests,
They're
right? Are they
Yeah, they're
considered
servants of the
priests?
You know, so
Dude, church freaked me out. First time I ever had acid, I ended up in church with my grandma at like 8 o'clock in the morning. I took acid at like 1 o'clock in the morning with some buddies. And then I
Had to go to church.
had to go to church at like 8 a.m. with my
awesome.
grandma, dude. And it scared the fuck
I
out
bet.
of me.
It scares me
Like
sober.
the weird, like, whoa,
Yeah,
the fucking
very-
things. And then you're going up to eat the blood or drink the blood and eat the body of Christ. Like, it
Very-
fucking freaked me
very,
out.
very pagan-like.
Very pagan-like, yeah.
See, people don't understand that what I don't know whether to blame the Apostle Paul or not, because the Apostle Paul, I mean, they all reached out to the Gentiles, which meant that they were reaching out to the pagans, and so they adapted. Like the whole notion of Christ
Christmas.
having died for our sins, it's like that's the ultimate the sacrifice. Like
Right.
like instead of sacrificing like children, which they have, and they sacrifice virgins, right, and throw them in volcanoes, and all of a sudden you're gonna the ultimate like. It appealed to these pagans that the Son of God was was crucified and you sacrificed him.
They got him.
That's very
They got him with
pagan.
the story.
It's a
Yeah,
very
it is very
pagan.
pagan.
It's very
Yeah, right.
pagan.
But people don't care.
They made that up just to get the pagans on board.
Well, actually, Apostle Paul made that up.
That he was sacrificed.
Well, that Christ died for our sins.
That like statement.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah. Jesus never said that.
Yeah, he told me all this. I was like, I didn't know.
I didn't
No,
know
Jesus
that.
never said that.
people don't care though.
None, I mean,
So the whole story of him carrying the cross and all that shit, that's Paul?
Well, yeah, not necessarily. I'm not saying all things. I mean, like, it's really kind of complicated, and I don't even really have the knowledge.
Up
to
for
really,
okay,
to
so is
really
it up
get
for
into
interpretation?
Any kind of detail,
Yeah.
But like, I mean, but this whole idea that he died for our sins is nothing Jesus ever.
Yeah, he never
proposed.
said, "I'm dying for your sins."
Yeah, I could see somebody else saying that.
Yeah,
he died
yeah,
for our
he died
sins.
for our sins. He did.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Yeah, Jesus never
That's
said
like a Monty Python episode.
Yeah.
he came
so
here
easy.
to die for our sins.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
he never. That's what I'm saying. If you focus on just the teachings of Jesus,
It's beautiful.
right? I mean, he's saying all the things like to be kind, to love your neighbor, and
I get down with
turn the
Jason.
cheek and all that kind
Right.
of stuff, And so I mean, but
And wasn't like they don't know when his birthday was? Like they
that
the whole Christmas
the winter
thing is
solstice.
yeah, the winter solstice, and they lined it up with pagan things. That's all to get the
Easter.
Europeans on board, right?
Yeah, like Easter, like came from the goddess Esther,
Yeah.
the goddess of fertility.
Right.
So
And that
they
was when he
they
re-
adapted those things.
And then so he was reborn at the same time as the goddess of fertility was being
Yeah.
worshipped or whatever.
What a lot
It's
of people
spring.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't realize, is people like really don't really realize what Muslims believe. They don't realize that they all believe in the Bible.
Really?
Yeah, they believe in the Bible.
But their prophet's different, right?
Well, they
Muhammad.
have Muhammad, but they believe that Jesus was a Muslim, and that he was a precursor, I guess, to Muhammad. Like he made the way, just like John the Baptist
Okay.
made the way for Jesus,
Right.
and Jesus made the way for Muhammad. And now they don't like Paul, though. They don't believe Apostle Paul. And so that right there changes the whole dynamics. Christianity, 85% of Christianity is Paul. And
Okay.
it's his concept of Christ's mission.
And he came 50 years after
And
Christ.
something like that. He
And
comes
then
later.
and
And he was actually persecuting Christians prior to that. I mean, he was going
Mhm.
around killing Christians and stuff, persecuting
Paul
them.
was.
Well, he was persecuting them.
Fucking assholes back in the day. dude.
They're savages.
They were savages.
They're
They
savages.
slit throats left and right.
I know.
So then,
It's hard to even imagine. they
So-
still do it today, though.
Yeah.
Across
yeah,
the-
they
you
did.
know,
Across the pond.
Mhm.
where all this started, okay, it all started, okay, basically, I mean, this division really started
Division.
with Abraham. Okay, remember Abraham was the one that God said to kill his son?
Yeah.
And, I guess, and this is where the conflict, where the disagreements, and his first son was Ishmael. Okay, but his wife, Sarah, was actually his half-sister, was unable to bear a child. So he used Hagar, his handmaiden, who obviously was Arab, and
Yeah.
so he had, so Hagar had Ishmael, the first son of Abraham. But
Yeah.
then later on, Sarah was able to conceive, and she had Isaiah, and Isaiah was the founder of Judaism, and Ishmael was the founder of Islam.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that cool though?
Yeah,
You
it
think
is
about
cool.
it. I mean, how many people know that the first and both Christians and Jews and Muslims all worship, or I don't know if they worship him, but they, it's Abraham.
It was
He's-
all descendants of Abraham.
They're all it's an Abrahamic
the
religion.
bloodline.
Yeah, it started with Abraham. But Abraham kicks.
So it's a fucking monarchy.
So Abraham kicks out Ishmael after. This shows you what a nice guy is. First of all, he was going to kill his son because
Yeah.
God told him to.
Yeah.
Crazy right there, right? So then all of a sudden, Sarah has a child called Isaiah. So now he casts out Ishmael. He tells him, "You have to leave with Hagar. You're no longer. Nice guy, right?
Yeah.
Kicks out his first son.
What a cocksucker.
I know, and so, but he goes with the Arabs.
Okay.
And then he's
So he goes and
he's
finds-
considered the founder of Islam.
Huh.
But But Islam never really got really, it's really Muhammad that kind of put everything together,
Okay.
I'm not really super knowledgeable about Islam.
Right, you just kind of had grasped that.
Joe Rogan has people on about Islam.
Really? Yeah.
Kind of interesting sometimes. I didn't, I never realized any of this. That Muslims, Mormons are really a lot like Muslims, really, with the wives and all that kind of stuff. Because Muslims are allowed to have 3 wives. I guess unless you're some prince or something, you're allowed to have 60 or something.
Yeah.
But I think it's 4 wives. I think you're allowed to have 4.
Too bad
wives.
Christianity didn't adapt that.
Yeah, 4 wives. I just think you could keep getting another wife.
I know.
Jeez.
Of course, we skipped that part of it.
Yeah, of course.
But you'd have to have the power though.
Yeah.
Over them. See, because
Not nowadays.
they'd be running you
Yeah.
rag. They'd be 4 wives would be running you rag.
Oh,
Soon it's going to be
dude,
the opposite.
4
It's going to be 1 wife
cars.
and 4 husbands, the way life is going now.
Yeah, that might make one woman. It might even make sense, more sense, really. But that's why with Muslims they're populating much. Their religion is growing and growing because you got 4 wives.
Right.
Yeah, you can procreate like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but they're not. But Muslims coming
Well,
in
that's
this
the whole
country can't
idea.
have 4 wives.
No, but I mean, it's the whole deal with Mormons. Like, have as many wives as you want. Let's spread this religion.
Yeah, like they say, like the
Fucking
founder.
cult.
The founder had like 26 wives.
Damn.
What's his name? Smith? Joseph
Smith.
Joseph Smith.
Yeah.
That's a really strange religion.
It is.
It's really
Yeah.
bizarre when some of the...
It is. I remember we tried to get into the Mormon temple in San Diego once.
They won't let you.
They wouldn't fucking let us in.
Yeah.
Like, come on. We're all fucking stoned outside.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see the room where you baptize people. You can baptize me.
See, I think,
This is that.
Yeah, just leave it that.
religion kind of, like gets... Well, what happens with religion, it becomes tribal.
Yeah.
More. So the tribe
Division.
becomes more important than like... And, like...
The idea that I'm right, you're wrong.
Well, I Googled it one time, and you Google it, and say, how many Christian denominations are there? They'll say 40,000. There's 40,000 Christian denominations. All
They all can't agree. Like, it's Christian, Christ.
yeah, but there's technicalities.
There's so many. Yeah, there's technicalities. That's what's fucked up about the Bible is that you can interpret it
differently.
so many different ways.
Yeah.
And like,
That's what, like with Julie, I'm always, discussing.
the only
with her.
story you need is just the story of Christ. Like,
Right.
fuck all these other people's opinions and interpretations of it. Paul, even all the fucking apostles, fuck all them. You know, like the idea
same
of
with
what
the Old
Christ
Testament.
represents.
Why worry about the Old Testament? Just focus on what Jesus is saying.
It's right.
But once you start going into the Old Testament and it just gets
Like all that shit with Abraham and all that, like fuck all that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's kind of interesting though. But
it's interesting.
like
is
the
it
history
true?
of. I mean, look. What I started doing is like I started, looking at the history of Christianity,
Yeah.
and then it sort of took me to to the idea of Abraham and all that. And I
Yeah.
started putting the pieces together, But
Of where it all comes from. But like how accurate is all that? Like,
Well,
how
like
do we
he-
even know that that's accurate?
Well, see, here's some major divisions, okay, here that I've discovered, like in Christianity, okay. One of them is that like early Christians did not believe in the Trinity. The Trinity did not come about till Constantine. Constantine,
the Trinity being
that that Jesus is God,
okay.
the Father, Son, and
From
the
the Holy
Ghost.
Spirit, okay.
Okay, but the original belief was that God is the creator, and that He created Jesus. But Jesus is not equal to God. God
Right.
is. So when they started getting this idea of a Trinity, people started being suspicious of it because it looked like, this is the way Muslims' attitude is with the Trinity, is that it looks like like Hinduism. All of a sudden, you've got 3 gods. Whereas they believed in monotheism. You believe, like Muslims believe in God,
Yeah.
and that's
Allah.
it, Allah.
Yeah.
They don't really worship Muhammad.
Right.
They just revere him, but they don't worship Muhammad. They just revere him as a prophet.
As a prophet.
Right. Okay. So, so early Christians just believed, there was this guy called Arius, when I was reading it, and he was actually killed because he believed that God was supreme and that God created Jesus and God was secondary to Jesus, And so Jehovah's Witness don't believe that Jesus is God. They believe he's the Son of God.
Son of God.
And
yeah.
the Church of God is the same way. And the Mormons are like that. The Mormons don't believe in the Trinity.
Yeah.
And I think the Seventh-day Adventists might not either.
The Mormons are strange. I mean, they're all fucking weird.
So that's a distinction, though. To believe that Jesus is God versus that he's the Son of God.
Right.
So that creates a major division. But 85% of Christian denominations believe in the Trinity. So people who don't believe in the Trinity are outnumbered, as far as that goes. And there was another guy that divided the Protestant, the revolution away from Catholicism was Calvin. You ever hear of Calvinism?
I have.
Calvin.
I might just sleep up here.
John Calvin, yeah, because Riley's sleeping.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've been thinking this whole time. I don't know. Yeah.
I know.
Because I'm going to wake her up and she's going to be like, up.
Yeah.
Just
Who knows, when we go back, she might be up.
I know, running around.
But John Calvin, I didn't realize this guy at the spa I sort of started putting together, because he believes that Jesus didn't die for everyone. The Calvins believe that that God chooses you, and that you're chosen, and that it's all predestined, and so, in other words, he only died for certain people. He didn't die for everybody. That's a big difference, though.
That is a big difference.
So you're going from not believing.
Well, how old is this Calvin guy?
He was around the same time as Martin Luther.
Okay.
Martin Luther King?
Like Lutheranism.
So simple.
Well, Martin Luther, Lutheranism.
You wanted
A Lutheran.
Are you Catholic?
I am.
So do you know?
I'm not. No.
Well, I
can't
mean, but
say
you were
that I'm-
born Catholic.
I was baptized in fucking
What am I? People always ask me, what
You're
is
Catholic.
that? Why?
Well, you were baptized as Catholic.
Why?
You were born as Catholic.
You were, I wonder why.
Well,
Because
because
of
I
mom?
was.
Because of mom?
No, because we were both Catholics, and we wanted to baptize Julie.
Riley never got baptized.
Yeah, I know, that's your decision. I mean, but we...
See,
Well,
we
we
were
wanted-
pressured into baptizing.
I don't
our
understand
kids.
why Kirby...
We did it for the loot.
Oh, wait, Kirby...
I did it for
Did
the
you
money.
have your kids baptized?
Yeah, fuck yeah. They give us money and shit.
Yeah, we
Put it in
went.
their bank
You know what?
account.
Karen and I didn't get married in the church. We had some minister marriages because we didn't want to go through all... Neither of us were really religious.
But Kirby's church, she said, believes in doing it when they're ready. Like when Riley's
Right,
ready.
that's what... Yeah, and you don't care. Yeah,
Kirby's
anyway.
church?
Yeah.
Catholic?
I would...
No, they're both Catholic. Isn't it funny that he marries a Catholic?
Well,
You married a Catholic?
Well, they're
Yeah.
the same.
Isn't it funny, though?
Dude,
But why?
And I married a
Pittsburgh's
Catholic.
very Catholic.
Like, if it's not important, why?
Yeah, but yeah,
Isn't that coincidence?
Yeah, no, wait. But keep in
But we
mind, me
didn't-
and
we didn't-
Luke married the same family.
Yeah.
Well, this area is... But you know what?
Of course, they
But
both
you know
are.
what?
They're
I
both
found-
Catholic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
But
the same-
you know,
I didn't
found-
even know you were Catholic
No, I
till
didn't
just
even
now.
know.
But you know, this area is very Catholic, though.
Huh?
I found
This area is very
very.
Catholic.
I would never be
Catholic
married.
is a Catholicism is really the largest denomination.
I'm anti-baptism.
Yeah.
I'm anti-baptism.
The fucking power.
I mean, if you look at it, you have to look. In other words, there's more Protestants than Catholics, but if you divide the Protestants up into denominations, because they're not all the same.
Yeah.
The Baptists, you have the Baptists and Mormons and all them. But so Catholicism is the biggest denomination.
Right.
So most people around
And there's
here.
all kinds of fucking Christians too. Like Christianity is all over the fucking place.
You know-
Well,
Christianity is large.
is Catholicism considered a form of Christianity?
Well, yeah.
All right.
It's
Just
just
because
that,
it's Christ.
yeah, I mean,
'Cause
they
it's
believe,
Christ
they
involved.
believe in the Trinity. They believe that
They believe
Jesus
in the
is God,
Trinity.
the Father, right? The Father, the Son, and the Holy
Spirit,
Ghost.
Yeah.
So,
It's fucking
what
annoying.
makes, well, what happened was, for the longest time I didn't realize that there's no such thing as a Protestant.
No.
No one's a
State.
Protestant. You're like a Baptist, or you're like a Mormon or Jehovah Witness, or you're Lutheran or whatever.
So
But
Protestant
nobody's-
is like a grouping of different sects.
Protestants are just non-Catholics.
Really?
Yeah, that's all. That's all. What it means is when you're a Protestant, it means you're a non. You protested. They protested against Catholicism because the church was very corrupt. Like Martin Luther, didn't he didn't agree with them, and they more or less kicked him out, and so he formed his own church or whatever. And so if you go into a Lutheran church, it's very much just like walking into a Catholic church. Because Martin Luther was a priest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, he claims, the story is that he never quit the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church quit him.
Huh.
You know what I mean? Because he didn't believe. And then so what happens is, but Lutherans don't believe in the Pope.
Imagine fucking so
The
this
Pope is
priest.
a big thing.
It's an amazing story just to think about, like back in that day. So there's this fucking Catholic priest, and he gets kicked out of the Catholic Church, and he starts his own fucking religion without the internet. How the fuck do you do that? That's crazy.
He had some type of power. He must
Yeah.
have some type of
Yeah.
influence.
Very, well, charismatic. Like some people are just charismatic.
They're salesmen.
Yeah.
They're salesmen.
Salesmen.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
good salesmen. I always thought Obama was a good salesman.
Well, pathological liars, they're good salesmen.
Yeah.
Obama.
But even Trump is charismatic.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
He's
he
very
is. Yeah,
charismatic.
people love him, man.
Yeah.
It's better to be bigger, too.
He's what?
It's better to be a taller, bigger guy, too. Like, tower over somebody.
Yeah.
A presence.
Yeah, when you're shorter, it's tougher to...
Yeah, I don't know if these people were,
No,
I
they,
mean,
were,
even
they,
like
they were shorter back in the day.
Yeah, but I
Danny
mean,
DeVito, man.
Like in Rome and stuff, like all those days, like they were all shorter. They were
Everyone
all
was
like my
shorter.
size.
Did
Yeah.
you ever go to Williamsburg, West Virginia, or Virginia?
No.
Williamsburg?
No.
It's like a colonial place, and
I think I was there once.
yeah, and like they have like villages from like the fucking 1400s and shit,
Yeah.
and all the doorways are short.
People were
'Cause
smaller
people were
back
smaller,
then.
smaller back
Yeah.
then, and their fucking fingers were shorter.
Huh.
Like they had gloves, and the gloves were like they looked like little kid gloves.
Wow. Huh.
Our fingers are getting longer because it's not as much hard work.
Really?
That's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's like, and then when you get into other religions, then you got all these other religions, like you got those Sikhs, the ones that wear the turbans.
Yeah.
A lot of people think they're Muslims, but they're Sikhs. They believe in this character named Guru Nanak.
Nice.
Guru.
Guru.
And
Nanak.
they're like they're not Muslims. They're like, they don't believe in Allah and Muhammad. They believe in this character named Guru Nanak, and they have
Are
a
they
sword.
the Sikhs? Are they?
They
the
never
ones,
cut their hair. They
They're the
actually their
ones-
turban is really wrapped around their hair.
Yeah, their hair.
They put it up and they put it into like a thing, and
Yeah.
then they wrap it around it.
The Sikhs are the ones that believe like more in like a present moment type of spirituality,
I'm not
right?
even sure, really. That one group that I was in, the
Yeah.
head guy was born as a Sikh. And he
Really?
would always wear a turban, but he didn't ever really preach the Sikh thing. People ask him about it, but he wasn't really promoting Sikhism.
Huh.
Like Sufism is, Sufism is.
Sufis, that's what I'm thinking of.
They're
Sufis.
Muslims.
Yeah, they're Muslims, but they're more
There's 5 major branches of Islam.
of Islam. But
And
the
Sufis
Sufis
is one.
they're real peaceful, aren't they?
Yeah, they're more like into mysticism and
Yeah,
and
right.
all that. The more deeper
It's more
kind of
Eastern, like a present moment type thing, right?
thing. Yeah, there's supposed to be like 5 different branches of Islam, and yeah, they're more like the really deep spiritual kind of people.
Yeah, right. I can dig that.
And then each one has their own denominations. They have a lot too, because they have the Sunnis and they have the Shiites, and then the Shiites have denominations, and the Sunnis have denominations. And it's just it goes on forever.
Yeah,
just
right.
because some guy all of a sudden,
pissed off
has
and
more
kicked out.
charisma or bullshit.
Yeah.
No, this is the way, and they see, and people are generally followers.
Right.
Yeah, most
Yeah,
people
generally.
follow
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's that tribe. The tribal thing. We like to belong.
Well,
to
even
the
like
tribe.
dogs, like my dogs, are like there's always a leader emerges. Always, you know, there's always some type of, you know.
What?
Not every dog is an alpha male. Like dogs, even in a pack, like one emerges, maybe two when they fight it out. Same with pigs. That's the problem with pigs. They're very alpha.
All of them.
Mm-hmm.
Are they
fight
like
each other a
loners or
lot.
what?
No, they're social, but they're very
They
big on
dominate.
dominance.
One tries to dominate.
And luckily with Wilbur and Wally was just came in and just like dominate. Yeah, it wasn't a struggle. Like Wilbur kind of gave him the.
Just let them have the reign.
He's way bigger too. So Wally is so.
My dogs are fucking
I
funny.
mean, if you look at like the history of tribes,
Two,
I mean,
that doesn't count though.
just like unions,
What,
tribes.
2 dogs?
Yeah, I wouldn't count two as like a pack. Once you get into, you really see, you can see stuff with that. But once you get into having like 3, 4, 5 dogs,
Yeah.
you really get to see. Like I was watching Evelyn clean Odie today, and
Really?
then I watched them like fight, and I watched them like give up toys. I watched them share toys. They get jealous over me, and like I see like a lot of dynamics.
Yeah, there's all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah, with two, you see some.
Yeah, and like Junebug's young or old, and Hobby's super strong and young.
Right.
But like, there's certain things that he respects about her. Like he'll walk around her when she's eating.
Yeah.
Like he won't fuck with her food. And the other morning, he jumped down off the bed, and she was laying on the floor. And I was trying to get him to come to me, and he wouldn't fuck
Yeah.
with her.
Yeah, they
You
know. They know.
Yeah, it's funny. Like he respects his elders.
Yeah, like Evelyn's older and she'll eat her. She's like real grumpy about her food. Like nobody can go and like older dogs. It must be like, but like
Yeah.
nobody can go and like a certain amount of
A
space.
radius.
But then when Evelyn's done, she always lets Drogo have it. Not Guapa. She lets Drogo have it.
Really?
And so everybody knows. Then when she's done, she walks away and Drogo comes.
Really?
Yeah, it's like they just have this.
There's a
fun-
pecking order.
Yeah, it's like a pecking order.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
I
Yeah.
just watched a dog movie. This is kind of interesting. It was called, I think what's it called, A Dog Story.
I mean, it's
or
amazing
Dog-
how loyal they are and how much they love us.
Yeah.
It's weird. Remy and Kirby were talking about today. Like, they just love us so
It's unconditional,
much.
dude.
I know.
Yeah.
Why is that? It's weird.
I mean, yeah.
And we're so mean to them.
Yeah.
We're so cruel.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
I
we
feel
see-
so bad leaving fucking Hobby in a cage all day like an
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, we always talk about humans, are so great and we're above all the animals, but isn't it funny how we don't even want ants,
In our
animals, we
house.
don't want chipmunks,
Weeds.
Yeah, we
we
don't
want the deer, we don't want them around, we don't want,
We don't want
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah,
We
yeah,
don't even want
right.
neighbors
Neighbors
half
are
the
really
time.
terrible.
Yeah, right. We don't even want neighbors.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we see an ant,
Yeah, right.
Fly.
That
Yeah,
is
I know, we
fucked
just-
up.
I know,
Yeah,
we just-
mosquitoes. Everyone gets scared of spiders and shit. Meanwhile, spiders are
I know,
eating
we just,
everybody.
I know.
Yeah, we get all upset because there's too many deer around. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
I was looking at some of these, like other countries that seem to be a little bit better, and they actually make bridges for animals,
Yeah,
so the animals can go.
right. I've seen that.
So that's pretty
They're
cool.
starting to. I think weren't they doing that in like Wyoming and shit?
I know some other countries have started doing it
That's
because
also
Like
a
in
safety
Sweden,
thing.
that sounds like a Scandinavian thing.
like we just divide everything. Like we build these super highways,
Fucking highways,
and these
yeah.
animals have nowhere to.
And there'll be herds that just get divided.
Yeah, and they try to go over, and then they get
And they
killed.
get crushed. And we put fences up too, so the fuckers don't fuck.
Yeah,
over.
we make fences and everything. Christ, I mean, we're just.
In Costa Rica, they had bridges for monkeys. There'd be like ropes fucking hanging across the road so that the monkeys could go up and swing across.
Yeah, we're like humans have really become really terrible. What's the word? When
We don't play well with others.
caretakers of the earth or something. I
Oh, we
mean,
fucked this planet up.
I know,
Well,
and we keep
Tyson-
polluting it, and
Tyson DeGrasse. Why can't I ever say his name?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Neil deGrasse Tyson made a point. They always talk about aliens. If we don't want, Stephen Hawking said, we don't
Yeah.
want to come in contact with aliens, right? Because of what we know, we like to dominate. But Tyson was saying,
Higher intelligent beings dominate.
but I thought Tyson was saying that we don't know. That's how we are.
Right.
That's how we are.
Yeah, that's
but
how
why would they
humans
be
are.
different?
But he's saying, but we don't know that. Maybe they're so much smarter than us.
They might be seeing us from afar.
If the aliens could come here, they're definitely going to be smarter.
Well, yeah, that's a fact.
I mean, that's a fact.
But they might be nicer.
They might be nicer. Is Tyson's point.
They might not come like stupid human beings whenever we come across a pond and find fucking Native Americans that are less civilized, which is bullshit. Even saying that is fucked up.
Yeah, it's almost our own ego.
I agree with
Stephen. I agree too.
We should be suspicious.
If I see the alien ships coming in, like my heart's dropping. Like
scared.
I'm scared for my Riley. Like I'm like, oh shit. Like live with your family. You know what I mean? Forget if it was just me. I'd be like, word. But like I'd be scared.
Yeah,
like,
look at the Europeans.
Would you?
The American Indian,
I'd be scared.
Like shit.
Fuck yeah, I'd be scared, dude.
I'd be very scared.
Yeah, I've been listening to this book called The Fifth Wave. You know, it's really funny because I watched the movie.
I want to find life so bad.
I watched the movie.
Eat mushrooms.
And I'm thinking how much the book is so much better. The movie doesn't even touch the whole concept of the book. You know what I mean? Like there was a concept that he's trying to get across, and I don't think that...
Yeah, you're talking about the consciousness, How like these beings are just pure consciousness.
Yeah, and they just I'll tell you what, I think that movie on Netflix, The Beyond, gets a little bit into the idea of these beings that are consciousness, except they're good people. They made them out to be good.
Is it a movie or a series?
No, The Beyond is a movie on Netflix. I was talking. Remember, they were the ones about the brain. They put the brain in a robot.
A human brain.
Yeah, they had become so advanced that they could take a human brain, and there were people volunteering, and people probably would volunteer. Like, would you volunteer to have your brain removed and placed in a robot?
Well, if he's dying,
I don't know. If
you're dying, but. I don't know.
That's what Elon Musk was talking about, uploading yourself into a new version.
Yeah, but I thought it was freaky that the person that they picked was not somebody dying.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's people who like would volunteer to go to Mars or
she just felt that she was.
There's definitely people out there today that would do shit 100%. Like that.
Yeah, she was like young and everything, and she volunteered because she thought she'd be the best candidate for this project. She really believed in this project.
Yeah.
Just imagine all of a sudden waking up and you're in
a robot.
The stories are kind of freaky if you ever have the time.
Dad, do you watch Ozark?
I tried.
I
didn't
Season
care.
2 is really good.
See, I was gonna start that this afternoon after I finished, but I started watching that I Am a Killer.
Oh man,
did
you like that?
I did.
Did you watch it? I Am a Killer.
I watched the first 2.
Wasn't it cool?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
First guy was scary, right?
Yeah, he was.
He was like evil,
wacky.
like the face of evil.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm ready to go. Fuck it, I'm done. But then like you hear like his whole story, and it's like Jesus.
There really is a lot to watch.
I know.
I mean, you really think about
Remember, there was a time where, like, you watched that? Yeah, did you watch that? No, it's, like, beyond that. Like,
it's just so much.
World with what we're watching.
And then now you gotta pay.
But I miss watching shit.
But now you gotta, like, pay. Like, they had that Yes Movies, which was really great.
Mm-hmm. Is that gone now?
Yeah, you can't get on anymore.
Oh, it's officially.
It's done. But you could watch anything on there.
Yeah.
I mean, anything. I mean, you could watch Law and Order on there.
There's got to be
without commercials.
Right?
Yeah, without. Yeah, somehow they skip. Would you say? Yeah, there must be a new
one. You could watch anything. Like, any show was on there without commercials.
I know, it was amazing.
And
without commercials, I know.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden, now you got to pay for things.
Well, I've always found that very interesting. How like forthcoming and like giving people are with uploading. It's like people spend a lot of time like uploading this stuff. For what?
Just to beat the system.
Yeah, just to remember we used to talk about that.
But you know what?
We'll cut the commercials
like to share.
Yeah, people do.
Yeah.
People do.
Like
we realize that. People like to share.
I think
that's good. Sharing is caring.
I think people. I think it's really a few people that like to take.
Yeah.
And I think the majority of people like to share.
Right.
I think it's just really a minority of people that want to take everything.
Yeah, when I illegally download or like a pay-per-view, I'm always texting anybody, you want the link? You want the link? Who wants the link? Like, I want everybody to have it.
Yeah.
I have like an urge of like, I want everybody to
look at this shit, it's fucking great.
It's
yeah,
HD.
Yes movie.
Yeah. Some people are so like, I don't know how to describe them. I remember one time I was saying that I downloaded the Backstreet Boys for my daughter, and they all thought that was like the worst. Like that was a terrible thing. Like I was stealing.
Like you were stealing.
Yeah, like I should be ashamed of
shame,
myself.
motherfucker, shame.
Yeah, like I'm really gonna worry about Backstreet Boys.
But it is stealing.
It is stealing. I'm not saying I'm not saying it's right, but if it's
It's
there,
so
I'll
quick
take
to look
it.
at.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But it's a different kind of thing. Like if I go into your house and all of a sudden you're not looking, and I
Right.
take something tangible
Right. That's
and
stealing.
I put it in my pocket.
Well, it's a digital stealing.
That's
it's a different
stealing.
way of stealing.
But it's only on like paper.
yeah,
Kinda.
but
it's like a legal.
yeah, but like if there was no downloading, he would have. It's taking something that wasn't there, but he would have bought that album.
But maybe
If you
not.
couldn't-
The argument.
But maybe not.
The argument
maybe
is that
not.
you wouldn't
Yeah,
have bought
right.
it.
I agree.
Yeah.
That
You probably would have though.
Well, I mean, like you may not have, like Photoshop. The argument was that really downloaders were the ones that made Photoshop popular.
Right. If everybody had to
So
pay
now
for it.
Photoshop is really popular, and now they don't want you to download it anymore because they've made it. But the downloaders made Photoshop popular.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't understand.
Like what he's saying is if
Photoshop was free?
well, no, people illegally
Illegally
downloaded it,
downloaded
and that's
it.
why it got so popular.
Because it was
Because
expensive.
so many people. Oh, it was expensive.
Nobody
and
could
there was so
afford it.
many
Expensive.
people.
Yeah.
Like students didn't have the money to buy it and all that.
Yeah,
people-
Well,
right.
there's two types of podcasters. There's Joe Rogan and there's people who pay. They charge a subscription, and Joe Rogan always felt that like it should be free, and other people want that subscription.
But he
base.
makes money though, right?
Yeah, he does. That's his point. You got to get creative about how to make money. Like the days of charging to listen, like who's gonna do that now?
Yeah, right.
Remember-
XM radio is fucking out the window, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Good,
remember
man.
they
Yeah.
made you. But remember they made you feel so afraid to download a song, and remember that one case where the people were being tried
Yeah.
in court
Yeah.
for downloading.
Wait,
Remember that
They were
one
trying
lady,
to make a fucking example out of people.
that one lady got in trouble because their kids were downloading, and they were and then this one guy had to pay something like $50,000 for all the sharing that he did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
I
blamed
remember
him for
hearing that.
sharing.
Yeah.
But you know what? No one was ever convicted.
No.
There was nobody.
Yeah.
Every
it was scare
judge
tactics. It was just
threw it
scare
out.
tactics.
Yeah.
And it became such
Throw it
bad-
out there and then no one will fuck.
Should I stop this? Are we done?
Yeah,
do that.
but it became
Alright.
such bad publicity.
What the fuck? But why the extra? The after special.
After show.
Peace.
Hey.
We're up here. Wave. See ya. We're done.